So, uh, I have started the recording, so we can no longer talk about, um, what's it called? Contentious things, all the politics we were rambling about, and controversial topics, all those kind of
All that
things.
mint juleps.
Yeah. Does anyone want to run some form of recap or anything, or?
Yeah, I can do it again.
Okay.
Okay, so last time on
Wait. Before you get going, did you just deep cut that from
yeah,
End of the World?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Why do you think I always volunteer to do these things?
Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay, so
I
here's the
want
deal.
someone to pre-record one of these recaps and then just start playing an audio message. Anyway,
Um,
go on.
yeah, so we trained for a week to do the treasure ship raid. We did the treasure ship raid. We captured a sloop, which we are currently debating on what the name should be.
Mm.
And we then captured the treasure ship. I asked the captain if he wanted me to beat him up, so he looked like he fought and didn't give me the ship's logs easily. And yeah, altogether we did a good job at pirating,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. I can go into more detail, but do you guys really need me to?
Yes.
Okay. Well then, it started out with we decided that we were going to attempt to take the treasure ship. The the ship would be not the Kelpie, the Lucky Lucine. The Lucky Lucine would be captained by Skeleton, and when we captured the sloop, it would be captained by Don Jose. Um, each of us decided to train in our separate ways. I attempted to make a squad of sharpshooters. They still need work. Bowden continued to train his heavies. Lockbox, Don Jose, and Matthias started doing night trainings because we were going to do this raid at night. Uh, we all had um, we all had a little bit of free time to pursue various projects of our own outside of training. Most of us decided to help with land clearing. Lockbox decided to keep working on his smoker. None of the stuff that we decided to do in free time actually accomplished much because we only had like an hour here, an hour there.
Yeah.
We time skipped to being out in the open ocean and we spotted the ships. We then followed behind them at a distance until dusk. When it started getting dark, we doused our lights and started going closer to the sloop. Eventually, we got alongside the sloop. Lockbox, Bowden literally slaughtered their way onto the ship. The ship was captured. We unmoored from that ship and went after the treasure ship. We ran it down, we captured it. The sloop came up on the other side and boarded on from that side. And ultimately, there wasn't much of a fight on the galley. It was relatively quick. And that's pretty much it, besides me threatening the captain with a uncocked pistol and him handing over the ship logs. Matthias also stole charts and sea maps.
Also
Yes.
sniped the galley's main sail.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Um,
they're kind of screwed till more ships show up.
and of course the reason why there was a bit less escorts than there was maybe expected is because there was a storm and a couple of the escort ships had to stay back. Meaning there was only, was it 1 or 2 escorts? I can't remember now.
There was only one escort ship.
Technically, they were originally 2, but one of them got hit by a storm, probably, or
That's
delayed.
We assume that is our assumption, but we rolled pretty high on that, so most likely correct.
Yeah.
Because we were warned there were going to be 3 ships total.
Okay. So where did we leave off with you just having got the ship and getting all the details? I think that's where we finished.
I think we got all the loot. That's what all the random gems were.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have well, I don't think anyone should blame the low rollers, but there were a couple of low rollers.
Yeah.
So you got a fair number of different types of gemstone. I saw someone do a question or make a post somewhere where it was like, what's the most random thing that you've had to investigate or research for a TTRPG show? And I can say which gemstones are available in the Americas was one of them for me. It's like, I don't want to pick the wrong ones. So yeah, turquoise, aquamarine, garnet, emeralds, diamonds, that type of thing, all taken and everything. So did you name the you haven't named the ship yet, right? The slave.
No, we've been talking about it.
Yeah. What that does mean is obviously you won't be able to, well, yeah, no, you won't be able to load up everything onto the sloop to, you know, transport off somewhere else. Like you could maybe, but it would be pretty low in the water and pretty slow. Possible for the Lucine if you again like take all the guns off and essentially run it as a little transport ship, but yeah. What I would say is I think we can, unless anyone has any specific things they'd like to do or they'd like to get done on the trip back, you can pretty much either head to the Vadachi port or to the back to the island, depending on what you want to do. I would say probably, seeing as where you intercepted them, you're not closer to the Vadachi port, but you're, you know, reasonably in that area. So it's down to you guys whether you want to swing up to the Vadachi port and get the deal done, or if you want to head back to the island to essentially get everything settled and then figure out what you want to do with the gems. I'd say who was captaining the main ship?
That was Skeleton.
Skeleton. Okay. With Mr. Fallen, was kind of head merchanting, and Don Fernando's on the sloop.
Yeah, Don Jose's captaining the sloop right now.
Yes. Okay, in that case, I think a little bit after the a little bit after things have been taken and you've kind of moved away from the, from the fight and the boarding and with the ship and everything.
Mhm.
There is a general confab where both ships anchor off a small little island to decide and discuss what to do. Essentially, who didn't go on the? I think is it only Lockbox who wasn't on the expedition?
No,
I was on the
Lockbox
expedition.
Damn Man wasn't here, so we Schrodinger's boxed him.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say I'd still be on the island.
Yes. Okay. In that case, you'll all be. It's not like a super important you have to be there meeting, but it is just kind of a call it a decision meeting. And Skelton, Mr. Farlan, a few of the other council members, captains, etc. Get together and just have a quick discussion about how to play it, how to take it, and Skelton, Captain Skelton says, well, I've been thinking we should load up the majority of the booty and send it back to the island with our newly acquired ship. Whereas the Lucine, myself, and Mr. Farlan, along with some of the crew, can head back to the Vadachi port and drop off their cut, so we maintain good relations for the future. And then he kind of looks at the rest of the table, the rest of the council, and a few others who have joined in on the meeting. What say you?
So we're going to pay their cut in gems and not coin. I have no problem with this. Do we have any idea who has the best market for uncut gems, though?
And Mr. Fallen kind of steeples his hands and he says, we have basic contacts all over in a couple of the ports currently. One of the reasons why we have decided that it could be a good idea to pay them in their cut in the gems, and instead of looking to sell them immediately, we thought that it would be a good idea to hold on to them and see how the market changes, and if we can make a good contact for a good sale. Still, also, it is a good. It is not a terrible idea to just have these in our treasury. If worst comes to worst, we can still trade with for what we need.
Yes, I agree with that sentiment. It's always a good idea to get a feel for the market before you sell. My problem is we don't have a treasury and we don't guard the warehouse we have to an adequate extent.
Well, that would be the same if we trade all of these now for money. We would have a whole lot of money that we would need to store somewhere, and
Recommend that we sell some of the gems to buy materials to make a more secure treasury to put the rest of the gems in, so we don't have to have people watching it all the time. Perhaps get a locksmith so that we can give out a key to each captain so they can get in, but others can't.
We could. Uh, we could say get a couple or possibly a big lockbox, not yourself, my friends, but a big lockbox of which we can store the majority of the island treasury. We could order it custom made and order it to require at least 2 keys. So
If I understand correctly, we already looted some building supplies. Maybe we should check if there was something of use.
oh no, there was nothing along this. This is more specialist. Would we could be able to get it custom made and ordered maybe in the Vidachi port and get multiple keys made to give out to the council members, maybe a couple of others, and have it custom made so that you need 2 keys at least to open it. Therefore, just one person could not, you know.
I would second that idea.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
The question is if a box is big enough for all the loot that we will have, or if we will not need to relatively early upgrade to an entire room.
Well, my thought is that we can a reasonable amount of the uh, a reasonable amount of the gems will be essentially divided up to the crew as equal pay, equal bounty, and then a smaller amount will go to the island, to the treasury. We could probably take enough of the gems to the Vadachi to sell to disseminate to the crew, and then the rest will go into the lockbox, and then what is left over will go into the lockbox, the chest.
Well, it sounds like this has all been planned out and relatively well.
Mm.
I have no problem with any of this. I do think the crew might be best to have an idea that they could sell the gems back to us and we could trade it for money as
Now, I
an
would
I
assume that the crew would be paid out in money, not in gems. But I mean, sure, it's up to them.
as yes, I don't believe they are best when it comes to bartering. And they might not realize the full value of what we have given them.
On the topic of taking our share, Mr. Farlin, I'd like for you to sell whatever share I have and buy some sturdy planks, as I want to make a cold storage underneath the kitchen, but I do not trust the lumber that we have on the island to ensure that I can build a basement without it collapsing.
Of course. We will see what we can acquire in the Vadachi port when we get there. My thoughts is we'll take a few crates of the aquamarine and the garnet and a couple of crates of the emeralds. We'll keep the rest for ourselves. Maybe take some of the golden jewelry we managed to acquire as well, and that will suffice for the that will suffice for the cut for the Vadachi company, and also for the payment to the crew. Yes.
Sounds perfectly fine to me.
In that case, obviously this will be down to everyone. So the thought would be probably 4 crates of aquamarine, 2 crates of garnet, 2 crates of emeralds, and then 1 crate of the Miss Golden jewelry. That will make up the cut to the Vadachi company, and also the pay for the crew, basically to be disseminated equally.
I see no issues.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I am perfectly fine with this.
So you said 4 for the aquamarine.
Yes, 4 for the aquamarine,
9 left.
2 for the garnet and the emeralds, and
6
1 for
left.
the Miss Golden jewelry.
3 left. 3 left is what we have left. Then. I just put it into the notes.
Ah, nice. It's a pretty good haul still.
Yeah, no, that like thinking about just the garnets, the emeralds, the diamonds, and the gold, that is going to be a significant haul for us. I haven't priced out what aquamarine or turquoise was at this time.
I'd say all told, it would be enough to at least fund a like, if you find the contacts and you get things running, it would be enough to fund another sloop or another ketch from scratch.
Yeah.
Or and all of this is a little bit dependent on who you contact and etc. You could maybe fund the refloating and repair. It's more of restoration than repair of the Kelpie. So. There's obviously that would take up the major bulk, if not all, of the loot. It may not be something you want to do immediately, or even anytime soon. But
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, if we can find and hit a few more gem shipments, we could really increase the price of these gems in the market.
yeah.
As we increase the scarcity of them. It all depends on if we want to take that risk.
Yeah. Just so I can have it noted, as I remember, you guys went after the that was a Montaigne.
No, that was one of the Wadachi factions, basically.
Yeah.
The Vadachi okay, cool.
Yeah, the Vadachi have 9 princes. We hit one of them.
Yes. And yes, okay, so that's good to know. Yes. So, with that, unless there are any extra notes that or things people want to talk about, the current plan is to take the Lucine up to the Vadachi port and drop off the cut to the company and essentially do a little bit of trading with the remnants of those crates to get the pay, bring it back to the island, disseminate it out to everyone. The rest of you, unless anyone wants to go with the main ship with the Lucine, the rest of you can either go with Lucine or head back on the sloop under Don Fernando to the island. So,
I wouldn't mind investigating the Vadachi port.
okay.
Don
The things
Fernando
I wanted.
kinda has things to arrange with his share of gold, but yeah, for now I will just transport the crew back to the island.
The things I want to do require me going to a Vespan port, so I'll head back to the island.
All right. In that case, the crews go back to their respective ships after the meeting, and the as yet unnamed ship, the sloop, heads back to the southeast, to the island. The Lucine, with Mr. Gilligan, heads up to the Vadachi port. Takes a couple of days, essentially, for for you guys to get back. The Vadachi port is a day and a half, 2 days away. Essentially, for the purposes of some form of brevity, there's not going to be too much involved unless you'd really like to get involved. I'm assuming what you'd like to do, Mr. Gilligan, would be your own individual kind of,
I want to know the merchant company that we stole from and the merchant company that we worked for, because this really was a contract on our end.
Yeah.
It would be good to know what factions there are, but other than that, that's all I want to know from that side. No, really, I'm just getting a feel for the port, going to a few different bars, seeing what the talk is, seeing what the scarcities are on the street level. Just getting a feeling for the trade, seeing if there is a good recruiting ground from this port.
Yeah. Okay. So, I would say, give me a second here. All right. So, I need a place to make these notes myself as well. Second. So the no, it's not that. Okay, so the Vadachi companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm essentially it's possible / probable that there's details of this in the lore, but I am going my own way as I often do. So
I read the Vodachi lore. They didn't talk about the specific companies.
Okay.
They just said that there were 9 princes.
Yes. So the trading companies, the shipping, etc., are family based.
Yes.
So they often are based on the family names of nobles, princes, etc. You have the Firenze Trading Company. I'll put these out in the Flotsam chat so you can see the
Okay.
Then there's the Decalco. The Albaresi. You know what? It's gonna be easier if I just get them all down and drop them for you. New Italians just dropped.
Oh no, not the new Italians. Are they Roman or are they
Well, those are the old Italians.
Yeah.
How new are we talking here?
Neo-Romans? I would prefer Neo-Romans over Neo-Mussolini's.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Preferably Neo-Florentine because the Medici really funded the arts, and I'm interested to see what a new wave of Medici-funded art would be.
I was tempted to include the Medici because, you know,
Yeah.
but I decided to go for all originals.
Well, Alberezzi is pretty close to the Albizzi, which were a noble faction in Florence. So, you know, you could go Medici.
Almost there. Okay. So here, being dropped in the Flotsam chat is the names of the 9 trading companies that 9 main trading companies that operate in Vodacce. So you have the Firenze, Decalco, Albaresi, Bellini, and Cellini, Delecce, Lignago, Bronzino, and the Gottisi.
I don't know why. There was just a part of me that really wanted to see about 2 or 3 names of pasta.
I was considering the fettuccine, but also it didn't clock for me until I'd finished that I had 2 who sounded so similar. I think they're going to have to be rivals. The Bellini and Cellini.
Yeah.
Mm.
Who did we work for?
So collectively, I invite you to decide who your friends are and who your enemies are out of that list.
I would like to say, since we've already said the Bellini and the Cellini are at knives drawn,
Yeah.
it's those 2. I would like the rest to decide which is which.
Okay.
I would probably just roll for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't
they
really
should
matter to
flip a
me.
Coin.
It matters not who's in front of the X.
Okay, tell you what. I'll roll a d4. If it's odds, it's Bellini. If it's evens, it's Cellini
I'm
We
alright with
worked.
this.
that we work for.
Okay.
So Bellini.
So we work for Bellini. So naturally, that means we must hate Cellini. We don't really care about the rest because
Oh.
we don't know them much.
I don't think we hate anybody. We got what we wanted. We
Good
just
point.
we have just done a mark against Cellini, and they don't know it yet.
Okay, so we're not in the book of grudges just yet. Okay.
Okay, so looking at the Discord channel, the voice channel, going from top to bottom, not including me,
Mhm.
could I get a D10, please?
Understood. I will be first in line. That is not how you roll. Hold on. See, Evan.
Okay. Brooks.
10.
Ooh, okay.
7.
Ah, you're in a 7-10 sandwich. It's a really good meat.
Oh, we have an 8.
Okay.
It seems we're allergic to low numbers.
Keep going for formal, please.
Who, just all of us do another round?
Yeah, Bowden,
Oh, okay.
Brooks,
Go,
Don
Bowden.
Jose, myself, and then we're done.
I'll give you another 7.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, a 3 this time.
There we go.
Ah. Burn him at the stake.
Odd. Oh, there we go.
6.
And there we are.
That's it.
Should I roll, or is that it?
That's
that
it.
should be good. Okay,
Oh,
so
5.
we now have an idea of the general influence and power of the Vidachi companies.
Okay, so the Linguini really suffered.
The Lignago.
Lignago.
They are, I would guess, up and comers, so they haven't established. The old most noble families would be the DeCalcos and the Albareses, being both at 10.
And it makes sense why the Bellini and the Cellini are knives out on each other,
Yeah.
with the Cellini being slightly above them.
What I'll do is I'll edit that. I'll edit that post.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So the star represents having worked together. The X represents possibly being in the shit books of them. It also makes sense that the Bellini would reach out to you as business partners to knock the Cellini down, because apparently the Cellini are doing just a little bit better than the Bellini.
Is it going to be free strikes and then Pirate Hunter?
So yes, these are the Vidachi companies. Probably the ones that you're more likely to at least have immediate interest in working with you would be the lower ones. Essentially, the less power they have or the newer they are, the more likely they are to break from loyalties and traditions and stuff like that, and try and get an advantage over the others.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is the ones you probably want to be careful of would be the 10s. The 2 10s would be maybe not necessarily like super powerful fleet necessarily, but influence and power enough that, you know, you could probably get a good score off them, but you also may make an enemy. You know, Italians, man, they hold grudges. We've heard.
Yeah.
On the flip side, there's a possibility.
How do you mean I hold grudges? I'll remember this.
On the flip side, it could also mean if we ever work for the Lignago, we could probably negotiate a better deal depending on how desperate they are.
Yes. I'd say the Lignago would definitely be the ones you'd have the most
Ability to push around.
leverage on, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So while Skeleton and Farland are dealing with the Bellini, I want to go drinking in two very specific taverns.
Okay.
One that has close ties to the Albaresi,
Yeah.
and one that has close ties to the Lignago.
All right. What? Okay.
While you're doing this, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Have a look here. I will say, your choices here would be, wits or panache, along with either convince or empathy or possibly tempt. Would all make sense to me.
I think Panache Tempt would be amusing.
Okay. You can decide which one you roll for first. Which
We'll
ones?
go with the Albaresi first.
Okay.
Any penalties?
No penalties. Just having and I would say you get an extra dice for the silver tongue.
Okay.
It's quite literally bonus dice when setting up a new relationship. It's not quite setting up a new relationship, but I think it's close enough to count.
What about for the Lyceum?
Considering that you're at a tavern, or you know, a kind of like a company-owned kind of drinking place, I would say no, because you're not currently. You're not rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful and nobles. You're, you know, gathering information at base ground level.
Okay.
Okay. Damn, that's a lot of nines.
Yeah.
He's a very tempting man. What can you say?
And I'm gonna try to re-roll that 5.
Okay.
It wasn't high enough.
Unfortunately, it is a 55 instead of a 56.
Yes. What are you looking for? Like, what are you talking to people about? What are you, what's the general aim for this one?
I am looking for their gossip. I want to know who is making moves in the at the BNC. I want to know about their bosses. Is there infighting to try to get higher up in the company? I'm just being friendly, you know, and
Okay.
they're gonna be
You
friendly
hear a rumor
back.
that the Bellini sent a ship after the Cellini ship.
So, news of the loss of the dual convoy transport has not yet come back to the island. What you do get is small and regular tensions between the Vidachi in general and the Montaigne. Probably because of proximity, and the fact that their shipping lanes are reasonably close together.
Yeah.
Their interests also tend to align in the same areas currently, so
Yeah.
There's some talk of a enterprise by the Albaressis
Mm-hmm.
into helping to fund and set up a new outpost venture further to the west on possibly San Cristobal, closer in towards the New World, and expeditions towards the mainland of the New World as well. There's talk about
Okay.
it. There's no. You don't get the impression that it's a done deal or it's something that is currently being set up, but the plans are being talked about. There is a reasonable amount of trepidation regarding the Castilians and the Avalonians,
Mm-hmm.
just because currently speaking, both of their danders are a little bit up.
Yeah.
And while they have signed a peace treaty, and currently none of the countries are officially at war with each other, the tensions are still there, and both the Avalonians and the Castilians in this area have suffered a few small setbacks and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say maybe once or twice you get small whispers of pirating, let's call it,
Mm-hmm.
of shipping lanes, but
Yeah.
there's not much, honestly. It is a fairly new venture. You don't have millions of pirates running around saying yo ho and
Mm-hmm.
searching for jars of dirt yet. Past that, into the more Vodachi specific stuff. Obviously there's a lot of talk about the this is the Cellini, right? Or is this the Albaresi?
This is the Albaresi.
Albaresi, okay. So there's some talk about the feud, the conflict between the Bellini and the Cellini. Turns out that the Bellini, technically speaking, or at
Mm-hmm.
least the way the Cellini see it, is that
Yeah.
they are an offshoot or a lesser house of the Cellini, and kind of a breakaway, a branch of the family tree, let's call it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're considered at least to be less important, more inferior.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could say like a good 20, 30 years ago, they were where the Lignago are now.
Yeah.
So they've done well for themselves. The Cellini are essentially I want to say the Cellini are basically the Camarilla, and the Bellini are like the Anarchs, but
Yeah.
the
The Cellini used to be where the Lugnago are, and they're the new
the
upper
Bellini,
commons. Yeah. The Bellini are where the Lugnago are.
yes, were where the Lignago are.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of power and influence, they've managed to build themselves up quite nicely. They're still considered to be less influential and less powerful. However, the gap has been closing for a while. So the Cellini are a bit more considered a bit more noble, a bit more old school.
Mm-hmm.
The Bellini are a bit more new money. The rest of it is talking about the general agreement between the Decalco and the Albaresi to stay out of each other's way.
Mm-hmm.
Very much like any situation where you have to call them
Mm-hmm.
inverted commas superpowers. I mean, it's all a matter of perspective, but
Yeah.
they have had a long-standing agreement not to mess with each other. Aside from, probably a few and this is not something you hear. This is just
Mhm.
something that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's probably some subtle, subversions and things like that, but publicly and overtly, there are no tensions or no messing with each other for the two big powerhouses of the Vidachi companies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just aside from that, you've got a slight rivalry with the Bronzino and the Cellini, just purely because they're the next up, as it were, in terms of power
Mhm.
and influence. There's every now and then you hear jokes about the Gottisi and the Lignago basically being,
Mhm.
It's like, who are they? They they're so unimportant that we barely even know who they are.
Yeah.
I'd say aside from that, there's conversation about um a few different companies uh, in the various countries about setting up a either concentrated woodcutting enterprise or uh, quarries. If it can be found, if places can be found with like good wood
Mhm.
or enough kind of like area and the right stone for quarrying, as it's not a large deficit, it's not a large lack, but there
Mhm.
are higher demands than were expected
Mhm.
for stone and wood and essential building materials. And with things going how they are in the Atabean Sea, the uniqueness and richness of resource that has slowly been coming to light in the last 10-20 years, there is a desire from all of the countries to continue exploring
Mhm.
and discovering and expanding.
Yeah.
I think the only ones who aren't explicitly making early moves for this type of thing would be the Eisen,
Mhm.
and possibly the Vesten a little bit, but they'd be, any country would be a fool not to be considering it at least. So yeah, that's
Okay.
the broad strokes of what you get from there.
Okay.
I would say you probably don't need to roll for the Cellini. No, sorry, from the
Lid.
Lignago.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, that's essentially the general broad strokes of what you get in both places.
Okay,
Um,
but I don't hear the jokes about the Lignago from the Lignago Tavern.
no. From the Lignago, you probably get a sense of like, um, I'd say energy and
Mhm.
kind of much more so than in the Albarezi. Uh, there's a sense of like possibility.
Mhm.
The Albarezi, generally speaking, seem to be a lot more business as usual, whereas the Lignago feel a bit more, this is an opportunity to establish something in a place where tradition is not quite as strict. The
Mhm.
norms, you know, like no one is established here in a way
Yeah.
that is comfortable and firm. Whereas
Mhm.
back in the old country, um, there's much more of a solidified feel. Like the contacts are there, the foundations are there for a lot of the big companies. So
Okay. And as we know, Vestin and Vadachi don't have the best relationships. Does anybody pick a fight
with
in
you,
either location? Yeah.
I was going off the assumption of your advantage skill of linguist
Mm-hmm.
that you'd be able to cover your Veston, like you'd essentially be able to talk in Vadachi with enough of like a covering of your accent that no one would know that you're Veston.
I would still be speaking in Old Thayan, but I would be neutralizing my Veston accent, but I still look Veston.
Okay. I don't imagine with the current temperatures that there
Mm-hmm.
would be anyone picking a fight with you.
Okay.
It may close off a few doors in terms of like it adjusts the difficulty slightly for your
Mm-hmm.
role. As there is still some hostility and everything, but
Yeah. Well, I don't want them to know I speak Vadachi. I want to be able to eavesdrop
yeah,
when they think they're safe.
yeah. No, it there's no open hostility, no
Mm-hmm.
aggressive approaches or anything. I'd say you less so get the feeling of being, welcomed or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
So nobody too drunk and wanting to fight the outsider. Got it.
Not currently.
Well,
Okay.
you can pick a fight if you want one.
I'm not looking for it. I am looking to end one. If no one wants to start one, I'm not going to end one.
I don't think we're getting a roll for racism here. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
um. So
Just put me in an Avalon tavern.
there's not really enough here to roll to end a fight as
Mhm.
a like talk your way out of a fight or anything, but you definitely have multiple or a few at least people who are, while not aggressive,
Mhm.
confrontational, you know.
Yeah, and as long as they don't get physical, we're gonna just be our friendly
Yeah,
self.
yeah, yeah. Okay. In that case, no, not really. It's
Okay,
all
good.
fairly chill. Aside from, being like, you don't belong here, get out of here. Wahoo!
Oh, I'm sorry I saw you jumping on mushrooms earlier today. I was rather upsetting when you missed one.
What do you mean? There's just one of the one of the people in the Lignago is just Safi. It's a
Yeah.
me, Safino.
Oh God.
If that port ever burns down, that'll be the only survivor.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
just-
Safi didn't survive the sister show.
But
Nah,
she did. She
Well,
totally
she
did.
didn't die on screen. So
Yeah.
that's the rule. If they don't die on screen, are they really dead?
Okay, so
Nah,
we're going with if there ain't no body, there ain't nobody dead. Okay, got it.
No, we go with Safi's characters survive. I don't care if you saw them ripped apart. They survive. They're fine.
They didn't. None
She
of them have died on
obviously just
screen.
Yeah.
she obviously just joined the Chaos Cultists.
Yeah.
I could definitely see her as a Cornate Berserker.
Um. But yeah, the question. It was drifting, right? Where she did the "It's a me."
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I seem to remember it was reasonably early on in drifting when
Mhm.
she went to like someone's door and was like, "Boop boop, it's a me." Yeah, the Mario accusations or
Mhm.
This is going to be the first short that GP will ever release.
it's the first and only short is just to
Yep.
forever immortalize Safi being Mario.
Exactly.
All right.
What else are shorts for?
In that case, what I'll say is that the everything progresses
Mhm.
to the point where you have done the trade with the Bellini. They are
Mhm.
happy and satisfied with their cut. Obviously they had enough information to know what was a decent share.
Yeah.
As agreed. So that is all good and happy and everything. The any bits and pieces you want to grab, that's perfectly fine. We're going to fast forward a little bit to all both ships being back at the island,
Mhm.
at Cape Capybara, or I don't 100% know what the name of the island is at this point.
I'd go with Cape Capybara. That's pretty dope.
Okay. And essentially a general work and everything for the sake of brevity and so on, you probably spend a couple of days at the Vidachi port, long enough to commission and receive a decent custom job on a chest, which now has 2 locks and multiple keys that will be disseminated to the council members. And all of this is just so that you guys, if you would like, feel free to either take a break or not. I'm taking a quick break so I could go to the loo, or feel free to converse amongst yourselves about things. Just don't call on any NPCs for a bit, because
Skeleton, I need to talk to you about the rations for the black
But
powder.
since we've last had a chat,
give me 5 minutes, lad. I'm taking a piss.
Hey,
Tristan, where
Tristan,
are
I
you
need you over
going?
here, stat. Anyway,
so how long before Brooke steals a key to the treasure chest?
I mean, how long is it going to take for you to get back to the island?
That's about what I expected.
I mean, the problem is there's no sense me stealing a key for the treasure chest, is there? I'm going to
Yes,
need to
but
steal
you-
two.
But do you know this when we first get it?
No, I won't know the second you get back until I start seeing a chest being unloaded. And I think, treasure. The question, of course,
Mine?
is, well, it's that whole thing of, there's a box there. What's in the box? I need to open the box. Right. Who's going to have keys? The captains will have keys.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is anyone going to give Tristan a key? There's only one way to find out.
You know what? That is actually something I'll have to talk to the other council members about. Are 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 we really going to give Mr. Tristan a key?
Yes, he's on the council. Of course we do.
Okay. I
I mean, look, you need two, right?
but Don Jose, do you understand my concern?
Yes.
Okay, as long as you do, I'm glad. I have no problem with it then.
This is a democracy. What you elect is what you get. We elected Tristain. He is member
Oh,
of
he
the
just
council.
oh dear.
he just kind of took a chair and we all started yelling.
I don't know what you're complaining about. He is the best leader. He does nothing. It's great.
He also didn't get you any prize, so why is he the best leader?
Because he doesn't get in the way.
Because he's easy to manipulate.
Well, the way I see it, he's either going to fade into obscurity, or he's going to
He's
somehow get
fading into
himself killed.
insecurity.
I mean, once he drinks all the rum, he will be very famous.
If he drinks all
and
the rum, he's
very
getting
dead.
tarred and feathered, and then probably dragged under the keel.
Oh, good old keel hauling.
I think we should tar and feather him after we drag him under the keel. Otherwise, he would just wash it off.
Well, he'll die from the keel hauling.
I don't think we should allow him easy access to the rum in the first place.
That's what the underground stores are going to be for.
You open up one of the rum containers for a party, you find him in there.
Okay, now I have to question: is it easier for us to hide Tristane, or to hide the rum?
It's
You
That's
you make a point. There's something to it.
yeah. That's
I'm
That's a
not
good
necessarily
question.
saying anything bad has to happen to him. He just has to, unfortunately, find himself locked in a room somewhere.
Yeah. I think it would be easier to hide Tristane because we have to go grab him less than we do with the rum.
He's easier to carry.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry him, you just need to hold a glass of rum.
Here, boy. Here. Go in the hole. Throw the glass of rum in the hole.
And then we
I
cover
suppose
the
I
hole
could-
and we never unbury him.
Exactly.
Joke's on you, boy. I already put some rum in the hole.
Well, now you have more rum in the hole. Now get in the hole.
Mm. As long as there's rum in here, I'll be fine.
Like other people drill for oil, he will just drill for rum, and he will find it somehow. Roll natural 20, and he will get rum from the ground.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have convinced him that there are crocodile people on the island, so
Oh boy.
do with that what you will.
So,
That right.
has the
Enough about
entirety
this
of
thing.
the conversation and plan since I left been how do we imprison?
How do we save the rum? That's the entirety of the
Well,
plan.
it
We
started
figured it's
kind of
easier.
whether
Hmm.
Mr. Tristan should have should have a key to the company chest.
There's no rum in the chest. You'll be fine.
And how soon Brooks steals 2 keys.
Mm.
It's weird because everyone there seems to have come to the conclusion I'm a thief, not a murderer.
Yeah, it's
I
almost.
think you're a useful go-between.
It's almost like making a morally grey at best character means people don't trust you.
I know.
I was gonna say morally bankrupt. Look at Sheepy being nice.
Oh,
He did say at best.
Oh. Here's the best way for Tristan not to have a key anymore.
If he
Never
doesn't
vote
have
him on the
hands.
council. Or, I guess, that too.
that's a difficult one. He's reasonably popular with the rest of the island.
He's
Which
everyone's
one?
favorite.
Voting him off the council or taking away his hands?
The first one.
Both, kind of.
What
You've
did you
lost
do?
hand privileges.
Well, there's not much we can really do at the current moment.
Well, I mean, he's
If it
not going to be
become-
very popular if he drinks all the damn rum.
He also lose favor if he never shows results.
That is true. Honestly,
Because
the most popular people on the island currently would probably be Don Fernando and Skelton.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Makes
is
perfect sense.
a mix of Skelton is kind of the cornerstone for everything that's happening, and has
Mhm.
also, led the most recent gem enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And Don Fernando just kind of has led a couple of very organized militaristic, everything went right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to make sure like the company actually functions.
Yeah. Obviously, that is not to diminish the achievements or the input everyone else has. The problem is that they're a bit less obvious.
I don't feel like anyone looks up to me as a leader. They probably just respect me as a warrior. That's about it.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't think anyone would believe you if you told them that I somehow managed to shoot out 2 mass on one ship.
No.
I'm still trying to convince people I managed to fish a captain off of another ship.
I mean, there's a certain amount of it which is just not gonna be trusted, even if it is true.
I would say
There
for
were eyewitnesses, and no one believes me.
for Bowden and for Brooks, it is a lot more along the lines of respect or something
Fair.
akin to respect.
Yep, totally fair.
For more combat adjacent abilities.
I did describe him as going basically drill sergeant on the pirate, so I probably have lost a bit of respect, except for like whoever's part of a warrior culture in our pirate gang.
So Lockbox doesn't get any respect for joining Bowden in his massacres.
No. There is definitely a level of respect for a cook who's willing to, wade in and get their hands dirty, as it were.
I mean, no one's gonna disrespect the cook. That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. But the majority of it is more appreciation for good food in situations where you wouldn't necessarily expect it.
Yeah.
So,
If I had to
And not
guess
getting
on
scurvy.
popularity, yeah. If I had to guess on popularity scale, we have the Talkers. Then we would have Jaeger probably also being up there because he built the damn houses, and people like being in houses.
mhm.
The cook is probably also up there because he's the cook, and he's a good cook, and also he will actually go out of his way to help other people. At the bottom, you probably have me and Brooks, because while I've gone out of my way to help people, I've also smashed heads together when someone does something I don't like.
Yeah. It's also situational, like if you're looking to shank some bitch who has disrespected you, there's probably a fair amount of popularity for Brooks, because it'd be like, hey Brooks, you want to shank someone? He's like, no, okay, can you pay me?
Yeah, I think I could fit it in. I got another one at 3 o'clock, but I'll just be quick.
Wait,
I mean,
my
how long
3
does it take?
Wait, whoa. My 3 o'clock one is actually you. Okay, now I'll just take that money and
I have a feeling that if anyone contacted Brooks to shank Lockbox, he would do the same thing Taskmaster does whenever he's contracted to kill Moon Knight, and just rat out to Moon Knight who contracted him to kill him.
I mean, look, there are a small number of people that Brooks would not kill. The cook is one of them.
Mm.
I mean, why? You'd have to be pretty stupid to kill one of the few people who can actually cook a decent meal.
I just realized who Brooks is.
Right?
Lighten us.
yeah.
For anyone watching the video of this later on, I threw the stab happy robot from Futurama in the chat. You gotta step back. I gotta work on my stabbing. Ha 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 ha. Like, yeah, there you go.
Hey, look, I've yet to stab someone with my dagger.
Um,
So far, it's only been the short sword.
True.
Well. Oh. What's
So,
next
where
on
were we?
the agenda? Or do we have anything planned?
I gotta
Let's
look
build
through
a
these
bunch of shit.
logbooks to try to find another target.
Fair enough.
Well, let me know when you're eventually back at the island so you can see the progress I've been making with my herb garden.
Oh,
I swear to God. I swear to God. I will shoot you in game.
I think we're already back.
yeah, we did a bit of a
Yeah.
time skip so that
Ah.
Sheepy could go pee.
In that case,
Should have just gone in your
for
pants.
your benefit as well, the herb garden does not have the mint in the rest of the garden. That is specifically around my house in planters.
Okay.
Thank you. Look at you, damn man. I appreciate you.
The other herbs that I've been growing are, kind of separate because they die if they were put anywhere near the mint.
Mm. Okay.
So we have a decent supply of general kind of parsley, coriander, thyme, stuff that you can actually cook with.
Yeah.
Well, let's just
Lockbox approves.
let's just hope there's no random storms or squalls that will just like blow hither and
Blow the mint
thither.
everywhere. Like, if it happens, at least then it can't be my fault.
Yeah, it would be my fault.
Listen. I want to use some of my time on the island to help make sure those planters are secured to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see nailing the flower boxes into the sand.
I'm hoping this isn't just completely sound.
I will probably swing by Gilligan and inquire about when we might be heading to a Vespenport again.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're going to want to investigate the Montaigne next, and there's no sense in just going there empty-handed. We might as well pick up a contract from the Vestenport first. But the council hasn't really talked about what we're going to do next.
Have we already arranged the sharing of the loot for the crew?
Yeah, that was part of the. That's why we reduced the number of boxes in the treasure ship loot area.
So here's a question for all of you collectively. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure individually. Like in terms of money, how I want it to work and how much things will be worth and etc. Plus, you'll have the different currencies and stuff. Like, if you want to get technical, I'm happy to figure that out and we can get into it. However, the other option is that we can go for a more generalized, like, vague approach to it.
I think we should go milestone.
I think we should go
for
World
loot.
of Darkness. World of
What,
Darkness
loot
system.
levels?
Yeah, just levels of richness. Everyone's on one.
Well, Sheepy, your boy wants to start those spreadsheets as soon as possible, so no, I'm not going to do that to the rest of them. More generalized.
Okay.
But
Well,
seriously,
we can have notable loot be separate,
Yes.
Like, say, if one of us manages to, I don't know, steal a marble statue. Yeah,
Oh.
sure. That'd be like something that would be put in like the tavern, being like, look at this.
Well, in that case, what I may do is I'll figure out the economies of each of the factions and give you an idea of like their relations to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And those will fluctuate a little bit to make it interesting and fun if you want to do a bit of trading or, whatever in the
Yeah.
future. But what we'll say for all of you individually is based on the ebb and flow of how you are doing, there will be assumed expenditure and assumed income based on, like being able to grab stuff. So, most likely, I won't have you. I won't be like, oh, you can't buy a beer because you have no money.
Mm-hmm.
But I might be like, you can't really afford your own personal cannon. In terms of like going out to a port and buying something like that.
Are you saying I can't buy my own personal ship? Lame.
You can,
Yeah.
but
Did
oh, I was just gonna say you can't afford it at the moment, so
Yeah.
did Farland get the sturdy supports I requested as well?
yeah. They are. He not only picked up some decent treated wood. He also picked up some insulated sealed bricks.
Nice.
It's not like massive, but it's enough for a small storage, like underground storage, if you want something a bit better for preservation. Obviously, you'll have to dig it out, and you'll have to, get people to help, or construct it yourself, or get people to construct it.
So no one would really say anything if I took both of those for my basement, right?
We
What
are
did
not
you
going
need?
to argue with the cook.
I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
know what do you keep in your basement.
I am
Mostly
trying to
rum.
build I'm trying to build a cold storage so our food doesn't rot.
No, cold storage is useful for a bunch of different things, so I'm alright with it.
Keep it soundproof, thank you.
Yeah.
No, don't make it soundproof. I want to hear every little detail. Anyway.
Mm.
Sauce.
I do want to get my hands on some metal rivets and stuff, because I kind of want to upgrade that new sloop we have into something a little bit faster.
Well, once I can kind of smelt things a bit better, I might be able to make simple rivets. Right. But that may take a little while.
Because I want to see if I can't turn that sloop of water we got into a pursuit ship. Because that'd be useful.
Okay.
Because if I recall correctly, it's not the fastest for a sloop, but it's still possibly
It's-
faster than our.
It's faster than
It's
swimming.
heavily armed, I suppose, is the.
Yes, it's an escort. It's currently decked out in an escort capacity, so more guns, a bit lower in the water, a bit slower, but it was escorting a galley, so it makes sense that it would, it doesn't need to go that fast in that regard.
The idea is to use some longship tactics on this sloop of war. Maybe make a set of oars that we can place instead of, like, we can move the guns aside and place some oars and turn it into almost basically a ramming ship. We can
Yeah,
smash it into something.
it's
But I'm
not.
sorry.
Yeah, the sloops aren't super well designed. honestly, your best bet for a conversion job would be converting something like a galley, because they're a lot lower lying in the water. And they're not as geared for like if you look at the images, I'd say caravel as well could work. They're not
Yeah, this is
really as geared for.
yeah, this is where my lack of knowledge of how ships work
Oh yeah, it's all
kind of
good. It's all good.
kind of hit me.
Um,
But the idea is, Bowden wants something that you can that can move quickly, strike fast, and then he has the shock troopers. Basically, he's training,
yeah.
basically board and almost I forgot the word for capture. Anyway, capture a ship basically quickly and
Commandeer.
probably not. I wouldn't say
Teased.
bloodlessly, but
I would say also currently speaking, you're going to have a lot of pushback if you try to adjust one of the ships.
oh yeah, no,
But
I'm not going to try to adjust anything right now. These
Yeah.
are far into the future plans.
Okay. It's good for me to know because I can point it out if you see something likely useful for that type of thing.
At the current moment, I'll just continue training the boarding party, basically.
Yeah. Oh, and to note as well, because someone mentioned it earlier. While it is or has been fairly common practice for everyone to get together and discuss like the next move and everything, as members of the council especially, you can decide on an enterprise, especially now at this point that there are 2 ships. You can 100% go like, I'm gonna take the sloop out to go do X. You don't need to get everyone on board. You just need to gather a crew and decide, what enterprise you want to go on and how much of the, loot share is going to go to the crew and all that kind of thing. All the proceeds, profits, etc. So don't feel like you have to get together and like figure out an enterprise, especially if it's a smaller one, or you just want to have a bit of a go to this place, etc.
What is if I take off the guns on the sloop to minimal capacity, like still enough to defend itself, but not to an escort level?
Yeah.
What is the capacity of it for trade goods?
Trade goods?
I know the Ketch is probably a better ship to use, but I want to know the properties of both.
So the sloop doesn't have much in the form of cargo space.
Okay.
Is
I
the
thought
issue you're
so.
going to run into.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking to take a like proper score, the sloop's probably not the one to do it in. If you're looking to raid a ship and just take the the trade goods that you can, yeah, the sloop will be fine. I'd say going down to 8 cannon will help a little bit, and you'll still be able to, honestly, the sloop's a bit of this sloop at least, without work, it's a bit of a gunship, essentially. Like
It's not really built for good sailing, to be honest.
No, it surprisingly packs a good punch, especially for its size. It's a great backup to like an attack or a thing, because like it has more guns than the Lucine. It has more cannon. You can probably fit a couple more guns on the Lucine. This sloop is specifically designed to be an escort, a reasonably intimidating small ship. So yeah, no, it's essentially I wouldn't use the sloop for transport or cargo.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a significant number of the cannon off, you can probably run it as a regular sloop for like scouting and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Even with the cannon on, it's reasonably fast comparatively to the bigger ships.
Well, specifically what Gilligan wants to do is he wants to go down here, pick up trade contracts to the ports we haven't gone to yet. I
Yeah.
assume we have a pretty good idea of what the Avalonian ports look like because that's who we worked for before.
Yes, the smaller port at least. Sorry, the bigger port at least is the one you
Yeah,
need
so
to.
this one,
Yeah.
not that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is to sail down here, pick up another trade contract, preferably to Montaigne, because while you're still gonna be making the economies of each of these vaguely, if it's reflecting the real world, Montaigne or France was known as one of the best jeweling countries in the world for the creation of jewelry.
Yeah.
So I would like to find a contract to head to the Montaigne settlement.
Okay.
Again, it's not going to be one of those more profitable ones. It's literally going to be we're paid to transport goods, but it's the idea of establishing contacts and increasing our reach to the rest of the ports.
Hmm.
But if I can't find a good contract to Montaigne, I'm willing to go to the Castilian or the Eisen.
When you say contract, you're talking transport.
Yeah, the transportation of goods
Okay.
specifically.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, that's probably something you want to take the Lucine out for.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you can find, unless you're reasonably confident in being able to find some type of small transport. Could even be something along the lines of basic missives and mail and that
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. But obviously that would be more an excuse as
Yeah.
opposed to a profitable venture.
Yeah, and I want a profitable venture. I
Yeah.
don't want just an excuse. But here's the cool thing about mail. I can get a full cargo hold and still take on the mail. So if there's mail going to whatever port I'm going to, I'm willing to take that at a discounted price because I'm going there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Don Jose has to say to this that he will need to visit a port city, ideally not a Castilian one,
Mm-hmm.
and he has almost no love for the Montaigne. But yeah,
Well, we're going to the Veston port first to pick up the
yes, perhaps Western
transportation contract.
would suit me.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a question I have for you, Sheepy. How much, well, would Brooks have the money to place a order for one of the nightshade plants? That I know you said it would take a while before I could actually get one.
With the latest haul, I'd say yes.
Oh yeah, we're just doing it
Okay.
vaguely. I was about to say we're gonna run into a problem with turning that into cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of just to give me some idea back to the money situation, like what is roughly the value of share that fell to the captains? Like to the point, can I buy a house with it? Can I buy a horse with it? Can I buy 2 beers? Like the
So,
order of magnitude we are working with here.
so, uh, going off the last haul, the share that will go to all of you individually would probably be enough to buy. Definitely not a house. It would be more along the lines of like, fine clothing, you know, some fairly pristine, sword, you know, like nothing like top tier or anything, but like a nice kind of officer's sword or, decent fripperies, etc. You know, that type of thing. It's enough to pay for food and booze and general living everythings for a few months in any port of your choice. So you could live very comfortably and happily for a few months.
Oh, okay, that's
basically
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sheepy, something I just realized.
Yeah.
Do we have mortar for the bricks that was brought back?
Yeah, that would be included.
Just
Okay,
figured
great.
I'd make sure.
Hey, Kenny.
There's a bunch of bricks. They all just fall apart.
For a moment, I thought we were going to have to go to the swamp to get some stuff we could use for mortar.
Well, this is not a significant amount of mortar. This is enough to go along with the bricks for the cellar.
Cold storage.
Yeah. It's essentially, let's call it, for personal use as opposed to general island construction.
I'm just picturing getting pulled over. Don't worry, officer. This mortar is for personal use.
Well, I don't know why you have a 20mm mortar in the back of your car, but
I was
that
gonna
is
make an
not.
artillery joke.
Yeah,
20
that is
millimeter
not.
doesn't sound much for a mortar.
Well, any type of mortar is not for civilian use. So, we have a problem.
Wait, you
Worry,
mean
I
you
just
can't
use it
legally
as a
own
bong.
mortar? Ah, well.
Only civilian targeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it literally is a bong. You just tell them it's a mortar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one would be more legal, to be honest.
Oddly, the mortar.
The bong, because you can play the mortar off as a airsoft idea that you're working on.
Or you can tell that the bong is actually the musical drumming instrument.
That would be a didgeridoo.
Okay, this is now a didgeridoo. It is not a bong. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, does anybody want to come with me to civilization?
Yeah, Don Jose will have to go to civilization.
I suppose if I now have the money to buy some actual poisonous plants, I will be coming along to buy said plants.
Oh, I specifically asked to go to a Vespin port, and you're heading to a Vespin port.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on my cellar.
Wait, are you all leaving Lockbox behind? Like last time it was Brooks. This time it's Lockbox.
Not necessarily. I plan on staying on the island for a little bit.
Okay.
Because there's stuff I need to do on the island.
Yeah.
I said, so I don't get to ask Lockbox to just look after my herb garden whilst I'm gone. Okay.
Well,
You come back, there's no herbs left.
Suddenly
God.
the mint is all over the island.
If I come back and the mint is all over the island, I'll kill everybody and then myself.
Don't worry, the mint will do it for you.
It rises up.
In that case, in the meantime, I will be brewing as much mint tea as I can feasibly create.
Honestly, you gave me some mint tea. I wouldn't mind seeing if there was a market for that if you dry out the leaves.
I mean, he's going to have enough of them by the end of it.
Yeah.
Believe scholarship is our building role, right?
No, we switched it to performance.
Okay.
I mean,
forgot to
depends on
write
what
that
do you
down.
want to do or how professional do you want to make it, because that was like for the survival role. So, like putting
Yeah.
three trunks together, yeah. But otherwise, I'm not sure if you don't need scholarship to actually plan so that the foundations of your house don't collapse.
Yeah, Ard's right. The way Sheepy did it was scholarship was for the building plans, and then performance was for the actual work.
And I suppose the real question is, are you going to ask for any help?
Yes. Who wants to help Lockbox dig a hole and fill it with bricks?
Blind, are you asking me, Potato, if I want to dig a hole?
Yes.
Sheepy, do you want to give him the answer?
No, he has his own things he needs to do on the island.
Fuck you, Sheepy. I want to dig a hole. I am. I'm about to be. I'm about to hit my inner dwarf, rock and stone, motherfuckers.
So,
I mean-
The question: do we have enough shovels for this?
Don't worry, I can get you the shovels.
We have the common tools or common use items or whatever the fuck they're called.
It's just 25 shovels.
I guess we finally know what it takes for Potato to fully break character. It's the prospect
Yeah.
of a dug hole.
Yeah,
I hear a rock and stone.
yeah. You heard a rock and stone. Let's go.
Okay, just all of a sudden, we've all turned up to help you dig these foundations.
I mean, it's not like I have
I
much
am-
else to do besides
Uh,
trying to train shock troops. So,
I am extremely
dig a-
confused, but also grateful.
actually, you know what, Sheepy?
Yo,
The shock troops are
trying
gonna
to
dig
put-
hole.
I need them to get discipline anyway. I'm gonna make them dig a hole. I'll help us
Yeah,
out.
my marksman squad's coming with me. They don't have a choice on this matter.
I don't know if I
But
can
wait-
take the entire skullduggery team with me as well for the laugh, but
I mean, it's not gonna be massive. You know, it's not a full on like
Operation.
giant operation. So you can probably get that all dug in like half a day with that many people, and no need
Yeah.
for a roll either.
Lockbox is staring confusedly at all the people just being dragged to dig his basement.
You just hear Gilligan. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
and then in
Dig,
unison,
diggy hole. Diggy diggy.
Well, although Bowden doesn't have a whip or anything, he definitely will catch people who aren't digging and scold them. I guess best way to. What's the
Tosses them
term
back
for
in the hole.
What's the term for militarily screaming at someone to get back to work?
Being a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I know well, my brain forgot the term for it now. That's,
Sheepy, what do I roll to start putting up the foundations? With the, 20 people out of our 86 crew helping me.
Honestly, the only roles you're going to need would be in the planning stage, the labor is plentiful enough. And I would say
So-
it's not too difficult to build a basic brick square box.
So scholarship wits.
Yes. I would say the success gate is not going to be particularly difficult.
Okay. Do I get any pluses for having half the crew?
I mean, I'm academy trained, but it's not specifically for scholarship, sadly.
yeah. Honestly, I'd say like no, but that's mostly because it's already a very low success gate anyway.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm gonna wait. I need to re-roll that too.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
It's a 39 now.
No problems. Get it all laid out and brick and mortared and sealed up. The only issue probably is the door, but you know.
Just a plank of wood for now. Put over the hole.
It's mostly fine, just as long as you keep it sealed majorly, you'll be all good.
That went from me expecting not a lot of people to help to it's done.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, you just see half of the crew sitting there, drinking, looking at a job well done.
Probably grumbling. But they got-
Lockbox is still confused at why people were so interested in digging a hole.
Okay, now let's get the rub in here.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sheepy, besides the hole digging, which was a Potato decision, not a Gilligan decision, but Gilligan has to do it because Potato wants to do it.
Sure.
I will split my time between taking care of the sheep, training the marksman a little bit more, and looking over those logbooks to see if there's any information I can glean on nice targets, new trade lanes that we don't know about, just things like that.
Okay.
I think Brooks.
I was just gonna say, I would say that as things are sounding, you probably have like a week and a half before any new enterprises or things are gonna be done.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of makes sense as well. I'd say first couple of days especially would be spent drinking and celebrating a very successful time had.
Celebrating the hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if Mr. Gilligan is willing, I can try training both the shock troopers and the his marksman squad, because I do have pretty good aim. I can just try training both of them while he's looking over logbooks and trying to figure out expeditions. It's up to him, though.
I think I'll actually join them during your calisthenics and fitness routine. We'll do a joint training session there. But specifically what I want them to get used to black powder weapons, and as far as I know, you use a bow.
Yeah, I use a bow.
Also, like, in terms of improving them, that can work decently. The issue is like it's different. It doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily come together as a team under or in concert with Gilligan if he's not there and involved. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Depends
more-
what
it would
the
be-
aim is or goal is.
Well, it would be most likely improving coordination with, teach the marksman team to not accidentally execute the shock troopers by shooting them in the back.
Eventually, I will do group training with your guys, but right now I need them to get their skills up.
But in terms of what I would be doing with Gilligan's
Mhm.
squad for like a week, it would probably just be me observing their normal training routine and then improving any fitness aspects that I can think of. Because while I can't help them aim the gun any better, I can possibly improve their coordination, their hand-eye, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can also teach them basic close quarters combat in case they're ever run up on.
Yeah, they don't need to learn that right now. Like this is all really good ideas for further down their training, but I want them to load faster. I want them to aim better. I want them to shoot better. I'm even going to, when they get better, I'm going to have them do target practice on a ship in the middle of the ocean, so that they can account for the rocking of the ship they're going to be on. Like, there's a lot more that they need to do before they even start thinking about close quarters combat, because let's be clear, if it gets to the point where your sharpshooters are in close quarters combat, we're in significant trouble.
Yeah, that's fair. I like to imagine Mr. Gilligan and Bowden are in their cabin coming up with these training regimens. Anyone coming nearby just hears just hears different forms of torture, basically,
Yeah,
on what they're about to have to witness.
Yeah.
And then, so in that case, since Mr. Gilligan wants them to specialize a bit more, I will continue with my own troops and continue on our basically boarding and shock and all tactics.
Yeah, and if you do morning fitness routines, we'll be there with you, so you'll get the camaraderie from that. But yeah, we're gonna do our own thing when it comes to specific specialization training.
Okay. I'll make a note in my personal.
I'm sorry, as a player, did I miss the visit to the Western Port,
No,
or did it simply not happen?
It's
You
not
missed
happening yet.
that's for the
you
future.
missed digging a hole.
I did not miss that. I said this is exciting, but I don't care. I am not a
Oh,
person for
okay.
physical labor.
Oh, what do you mean? You got dragged to it. You didn't get a choice.
Oh, I see.
Everyone dug that hole.
Yeah,
It was.
Except
rock
for
and
the-
stone to the bone.
It was.
Except
Yeah,
for-
I mean, if you don't rock and stone, you ain't coming home. But I still
Yeah.
kind of need to arrange something. So I'm not sure if this is taking like a week. I'm not sure if I don't actually take one of the ships,
I
and
think it
let's
took
do
a
it.
Oh,
day.
that hole took it less than a day.
Yeah, but like this is talking about drills and the digging and
Yes.
shit.
Yeah, we were planning on shipping out in a week.
So I'm not sure if
Yes.
week is. I guess I will have to wait.
I mean,
Uh,
you can get somewhere and back in a week if you want to take the if you take the majority of the guns off down to like 8 or 10 or something, the sloop can travel.
Yeah, I guess
pretty
if
quickly.
nobody else needs anything like that they want to arrange somewhat urgently, I mean, this is not that urgent, then
Mhm.
I will just wait.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if you do go take a ship and go by yourself, if you're going to the Western Port, Gilligan can give you some recommendations for really good hotels to go to for like a nice bath, a haircut, a shave, like to actually get pampered because he knows you have a noble background. Or how open are you with your noble background? I don't know if he knows that or not.
I think pretty open. We were talking earlier if like he wants kind of to be addressed as Dom when
Yeah.
practically possible.
He,
Okay, well then he knows you have a noble background. He knows he'll give you like ideas on what hotels to go to, what taverns to go to, what the higher level establishments are.
Yeah, I guess I'll wait for now. We'll see.
From Bowden
Ooh.
and Mr. Gilligan,
Mm-hmm.
Could I get a either? I'd say a panache convince or a panache intimidate.
Right, I know what I'm gonna do.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one of each.
Yeah,
Any
probably.
penalties? Yeah, any penalties?
This is essentially a mixture of discipline and just general charisma or leadership.
Okay, so flat.
Unless you have something that you feel would apply to the situation.
I mean,
Nope.
I do.
Nash Convince works well, and I'm gonna re-roll that too.
I do have
He's
both
got
large. Oh my gosh!
43.
That's a 43.
I do have both large and stare down as advantages.
It's not really an active action. It's more of a passive one.
Okay. I'll re-roll the 1. That is a 28.
Okay. Yeah. I was just like the main thought there was I wanted to see whether your guys, your groups would manage to essentially, like, whether their desire for celebration and partying would win out over the the training and etc. But no, both of you rolled well enough that there's probably a couple of people who a bit hungover or like 5 minutes late to the to the run or something along those lines. But nah, you're
You
good.
tell me. If you tell me, I will give those people gruel.
No, if you're hung over to the training, or even worse, late, you gotta do double laps.
And if enough people are late, everyone gets to do a double lap.
Yeah.
Oh, as I said, you rolled pretty much okay, or
Yeah.
okay enough that it's nothing significant. It's just everyone is celebrating for the first few days. So
Gilligan's obviously a bit more convincing than Bowden, but
yeah.
that's to be expected.
Can I work on my smokehouse more, or does the basement take long to finish up?
No, I'd say I'd say you have enough time in the time period we're looking at here to essentially get back onto another project.
Okay. I am just trying to finish all the cooking things as quick as I can.
Yeah.
So that it's all ready and we have multiple avenues of food. I assume no no minuses or bonuses.
Not that I can think of, no.
I will re-roll that 1.
Okay.
It's
Hey!
now.
It's now 32.
Yeah.
Okay. A smokehouse isn't too complicated. Yeah.
Depending on what part of the world you're in, but no, not in the Caribbean.
Yeah. No, I'd say that's enough to get it finished by the end of the this kind of like time period section we're running through. That's a pretty decent roll. Yeah.
And I'd like to try to improve my house so it's actually a proper house and not just a lean-to connected to my start of a smithy.
Okay.
Use any. Let me rephrase this. How much of the wood reserve would I use for this?
For the smokehouse.
Yes.
I would say it depends on how big a thing you're making it. Are we talking like mass production? Are we talking like, yeah.
I'd say like between the two extremes.
Yeah. Okay. 2.
Okay,
All
so
right.
we're down to 16.
We're down to 20 wood reserves.
We were at 18 before.
It said 22 in supplies.
That probably
Where
just,
are you looking?
Jaeger's Lodge / carpentry shop.
Yeah.
That's where the wood storage
Okay.
is. I don't know what you're
Okay.
looking at.
The wood reserves.
Down in supplies.
Yeah, the wood reserves can probably just didn't get changed.
So it's at 16 now then. Oh shit, what did I hit?
Should I just get rid of, because the wood storage was attached to Jaeger's carpentry shop.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get rid of that?
The Jaeger's one.
No,
like,
just the wood storage portion of that.
Yeah, sure.
In supplies?
I mean, you can leave the wood storage thing next to Jaeger's carpentry shop. But you could just have the number down with the supplies, so you
Okay.
don't need the number basically twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've set up the number down in supplies if you want to just delete the number up there.
Yep, number's deleted.
Okay.
Okay.
If I'd known we were less than half of the storage, I might have sent the men to do that. That'll be a later thing then.
Well, 16 out of 50 is not bad. We can always get more.
I suppose the big question is, with my 26, can I improve it to not just be a lean-to house that I'm currently sleeping in?
Over the course of a week, yeah. I think you'd be okay there.
Well, no, I think he already has somewhat of a house, because I went around making sure everybody was out of lean-tos and tents last time.
Yeah,
It's more where
Last-
it was connected to
Last
the
time
smithy.
last time we had a major building effort. That's one of the major things I did, was make sure everybody's out of lean-tos and tents and building them housing in some way, shape, or form.
In that case, yeah, I will say that my house is now slightly better.
I like the idea that
You made a shelf.
Yeah, I like the idea that Mr. Gilligan like went around, made sure there was enough housing for everyone and everything, and then like a few days later was just taking a walk around along the beach and just saw like this big wooden house right next to like a little lean-to, kind of sleeping bag and sheet over, and Brooks is still sleeping in there. He's like, Brooks, that's your house. He's like, this is my house? I thought, I'm so used to like sleeping outside big houses on the street.
I've been so used to sleeping next to the smithy. I'm not going back to a house that someone's built. I want it at the smithy.
Yeah.
I stay warm at night.
Yeah, I use the smithy to stay warm. I mean, what else do you use the furnace for?
Does anyone else feel slightly lightheaded?
Brooks connects the house to the smithy, specifically piping in the forge's heat into the house.
Hey, look, you can all laugh, but I'm the only one who has central heating.
We're in the Caribbean, brother.
Might get cold, you never know.
I also
Hell might freeze
live
over.
connected. I can live connected to my kitchen.
Okay, we've got two people
I'll
with heat.
reiterate: we're in the Atabean Sea, brothers. We want to live in the cellar more than we want to live next to the kitchen and forge.
I also have the cellar connected to my house.
Ah, so you even have air conditioning as well.
Yeah.
And technically, in the Caribbean, it did at one point get down to -1 degree. So, admittedly, this was a very long time ago, and it's only ever happened once.
Oh, I see you have been Googling. Damn, man. Good for you.
I wanted to know how low the temperature could actually get. Apparently, not very. It drops to 21 degrees at night.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I assume
Celsius.
Celsius.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because we are talking about America,
Mm-hmm.
not your filthy Brit,
America.
not your filthy Brit
America!
land.
Fuck yeah.
Coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Yeah. I
Bed
mean,
Bath and Beyond.
what are the British except communists? I mean, they voted Labour into power. What's up with that?
Oof.
It
Did you
was
see the other options?
it was time for a change. What, like 16 years or something? Jesus.
Yeah.
I
Be
mean,
right
yeah, we'll
back.
just get another few years with Labour and be like, fucking hell, what did we do? Go back.
Anyway. Ah.
I believe that's the construction's done for the time being, unless anyone else needs to build stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a thing I'm going to build, but I need a person there before I can build it.
Okay. I'll also say, just as like something I've noticed during the session is, at this point, because all of the shows are now recorded, and I edit in like the music and stuff later, I've realized that a little bit of my music sense has disappeared, where I left the bar brawl music going on for the majority of this. Like, I'm not like, oh, I should change the music, because I'm like, I can do it in post, you know, like, it's fine. But,
To be
yeah.
fair, I have my own music that I tend to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I mute it and then I listen to the music in the video.
Sheepy, I'm listening.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's nice to know someone appreciates my efforts.
I mean, I commented on the bar music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, you're not playing drill, so I have no interest in whatever music you're playing.
Wait, you want to listen to drill sergeants? Okay.
No, just drills.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's like living in New York, like constant construction noises outside.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
That's just a guess, by the way. I'm assuming, you know.
Live in the state, and I disagree.
I'm talking about the city, not the state.
Yes, well, all New Yorkers not in the city hate the city.
But I mean, yeah.
I think that's just a general rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like England and London. Literally everyone
What?
who doesn't live in London hates London.
I mean, if the rest of England could get rid of London, we would.
Yeah. Do you want it? We'll send it over.
Yeah, well, no. We want the land too, so
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this middle part of London out. You can have it. Good luck.
If
We'll give you Florida in return.
yeah, you have to take Florida in return.
deal.
No,
Okay.
we want Florida Man. He is too powerful.
No. Florida man takes the Isles for us.
I mean,
why
Can
Ireland?
we introduce him to Scotland?
It seems like, to me, it looks like you should probably just move Florida Man into London to solve everyone.
Now, knowing Florida Man, he would actually separate Scotland and Britain.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the also it's around about time.
GP, are you saying we're not going to go for 5 hours today?
Well, I was trying to decide whether I was like, it's around about time for a break, or whether we're not gonna go for that long, so a break would not be worthwhile.
Oh.
Man, I just grabbed 2 beers. Like, I'm set. If you want to do a break, let's do a break.
All right. I think we'll probably run for another hour or so. Like, nothing, you know, rigid or anything, but.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take a little break here for 5 to 10, and then we'll dip back into it.
Time to go grab another bowl.
Yeah. What the hell was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna say just purely because we've got off topic of game and we dipped into the real world.
Oh no.
I just think it would be funny if you guys took London. I was gonna say like, oh, then you'd have the highest gun crime and knife crime in the world. And I was like, wait a second, if we take Florida, wouldn't that give us the highest gun crime? Maybe.
No, no, we
No.
don't get Detroit.
Oh, true.
No. Okay, no, I can't say that because this is going on public.
Yeah, I
thing.
am already assuming this is going to be edited.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's-
well, let me talk about
We're fine so
criminal.
because we're just memeing.
No,
One thing
yeah,
to
see,
say.
that's
all a joke.
that's-
None of it's taken
that's
seriously.
the problem. I was about to go into statistics
Yeah,
and
I
actual.
yeah.
Yeah, every time you say something like that, you have to say in Minecraft.
Yeah.
In Minecraft.
So Florida man in Minecraft.
I mean,
Brazil
I
and
already do that.
By the way,
Brazil and
Did-
sorry.
did you guys see? I had no idea that Starfield had a DLC. And I just I saw it earlier today, and it was like 26 quid or something, like $35. It's like,
It just takes place in Florida though.
yeah. It just surprised me. I was like, wow. Not only does it have a DLC, it has a ridiculously expensive DLC, and doesn't Starfield kind of suck anyway?
Yeah. 100% yes. As someone who bought the fucking thing for full price, yes.
Yeah. So I guess you bought the DLC too, of course, right?
I have to check if I got the
Oh.
season pass or not.
But you're a bit far away to be heard just as a side.
Yeah, I was told 5 to 10 minute break. Okay,
Yeah, no,
in my
I'm just
kitchen.
saying. I'm just saying. Like we can't
Yeah.
really hear what you're saying.
No.
So,
Okay, so can you hear me now?
yeah.
I have to check to see if what I bought included the season pass or not. I might have it, yeah, but I didn't pay extra for it.
Yeah.
One thing to bring up. Brazil actually has the most gun crime, not America.
I know. I'm still they're just memeing, dude. Like,
In Minecraft, the Brazil in Minecraft.
yeah.
The Brazilian Minecraft server is wild, man.
I can imagine.
It's got Brazilian Hasumi. I messed it up. Oh well.
Jesus Christ, man.
I like how I roll lackluster for anything that isn't combat, but as soon as I'm in combat, I am like the next coming of some demigod when it comes to rolls.
Achilles, he's kind of a go-to Hercules, maybe because of the strength aspect.
I guess.
Kratos, if we're going video games.
Yeah, because when it comes to like thinking, I roll like 2 dice. When it comes to kind of discipline stuff, I can roll 5 and be a little bit okay. Comes to combat, I'm rolling 8 dice, and for some reason, like 3 of them will be a 10.
I mean, heavily combat orientated characters.
I know, right?
Don't complain.
This is why I've
if you
decided that
notice.
gardening is definitely going to be weapons finesse.
The highest roll I will ever have is if I ever roll tempt.
The cook and tempting.
My food is tempting, what can I say?
The highest roll I'll ever have is if I have to do some sort of endurance strength, some athletics thing. Because I don't know exactly what resolve is used for, but it's my highest thing.
Resolve
kind of
is
enjoy.
willpower.
Oh, in that case, I'm very willful.
Technically, it also influences your like wounds or hit points before you die.
I mean, I
I
could see
don't-
resolve being used as a kind of substitution for endurance as well.
Call me crazy. I don't think anyone's gonna kill Bowden in a fight. Too many limbs flying away.
I may have half a chance after I get a few poisons.
All right, we've got a bit longer. I'm gonna go make a snack for myself. So, just as a sidebar, the because I can't be asked to splice the video together or edit it out, the recording's still running. So, you know,
Don't
Okay,
forget
we
to
will
tip
keep
for
it.
stuffed diapers.
keep that in mind.
Okay,
I'll keep it risque for you.
Who wants to say the racist stuff and who wants to make the dark jokes?
Well,
I'll
I've
make the
already-
dark jokes when I get back. You can say the racist stuff.
Why can't you say both in one sentence?
Because we need multiple people ruining Sheepy's monetization.
This is
I say we-
monetized.
It's
I mean,
going on YouTube, I assume so.
I doubt it
It's
will be.
monetized for Sheepy, not for us. And it's a Patreon campaign, so we are monetizing it.
Yeah.
Ardenian
Yeah,
has
but
the
let's
right
not
of way.
let's not get anyone banned now.
Okay, I will keep the Jimmy Carr jokes to myself.
I don't even know what that means, and I'm afraid.
Something about birds and certain demographics. Let's not look into it.
I'm not going to. But no, I think we had this conversation before about Voden fighting anyone. It all depends on surprise. You surprise Bowden, you have a good chance. You don't surprise Bowden, or you're too close, you have a bad chance. Brooks has a better chance in that he can possibly poison Bowden. But as I pointed out, if resolve is willpower, there's also a small chance that you poison Bowden and he just flies into a rage. Who knows?
Hmm.
I don't know the mechanics for being poisoned.
Okay, so I'm going for two types of poison. First off, poisoning the food. That way, it's going to make you very, very unwell. Then after that, because now that I've chipped off a little block of your ability to combat me, then it's going to be the poison dagger, which so that you're already
From
weakened
behind.
before I start stabbing you.
You poison the food. Lockbox is gonna get pissed. Because someone fucked with his food.
Oh, no, you just don't know he poisoned the food. That's how he gets away with that.
To clarify,
Oh,
it's
no,
only one person's food. I mean, if that guy's dead, who's going to tell you?
I'm pretty sure Bowden would be like, Lockbox, what the fuck?
I mean, he would be if he wasn't immediately having to run to the latrine.
There's either two ways this goes out. Goes off flawlessly, you kill me. Doesn't work for some reason. I'm the equivalent of a bear shitting itself coming after it. You.
I've got a good chance of evading you. All I have to do is go up a tree.
Picturing, like, Gilligan and Lockbox, for example, sitting on the beach near a fire with a cup of rum, just running past them down the beach. It's just Brooks being chased by a half-naked Bowden. He's just shitting everywhere.
Gilligan pulls his rifle off his shoulder, shoots Brooks from the tree. I don't know why Bowden was chasing him, but I gotta go with my kin.
Why is he shitting everywhere? And
I have a feeling that Bowden and Brooks actually have a pretty good working relationship.
I mean, no one's stupid enough to try and pay me to kill you, so
Yeah, and
you're relatively safe.
you've so far been useful. I don't know that
think
you're a psycho, but I don't know if Bowden would even care.
there's a very short list of people Brooks would not kill. I think Lockbox and Bowden are on the top of that list.
Weirdly, Bowden wouldn't technically be on that list because it's not that he wouldn't kill Bowden. It's just no one's going to pay him to kill Bowden. So what's the point?
I don't know. If Bearded was going with his original concept, I might pay you to kill Bowden.
See, at that point, it becomes, well, okay, he's a nice human shield
Yeah.
for when we're attacking people, and he's a great distraction. But I am getting paid for this.
Yeah.
I mean, now you compare this to Lockbox. Well, you're asking him to kill the person who cooks his food. That's a little bit more of a extreme one.
What? You mean it's extreme to just assassinate a player character?
I mean, no one attacks the chef. It's a bit like
Yeah.
attacking a comedian. Why would you do it?
Fair. Also, if you fail, suddenly, I don't know what Lockbox would do, but I have a feeling it would not be pleasant.
I don't think I'd be getting any food.
I think
Ever.
1, you wouldn't get any food, and 2, you'd piss off most of the crew.
I mean, it's the same reason why Tristan's relatively safe at the minute, because no one's going to try and pay me to kill the guy who a lot of the crew likes.
Yeah, as long as he's not a threat to the Enterprise, I'm not gonna hire you to kill him.
To be fair, if he becomes a threat to the Enterprise, that's when it's very likely someone would pay me to kill him, because I'm more likely to get away with it.
And even then, when it comes to Tristan, it's mostly I like memeing about offing him, but Voden at the current moment doesn't actually have any reason to.
I mean, he's very much the harmless drunk that everyone treats well.
I assume Bowden doesn't kill because he has a reason to. Like, just killing someone is their own reason.
Yeah, at least need to be in front of me, threatening me in some capacity,
It's more like excuse rather than reason.
or be an Avalonian.
Man,
in
there
that
are so
case-
many members of our crew that just fall into that last category.
In that case, it turns out that there may be a lot of people who would probably now want Bowden dead. I mean, just fearing that one day he'll go off the rails and just kill all the Avalonians on the island. Oof.
Oh no, it's a slow process.
Worry. I'm Innismore. It doesn't affect me.
Yes. I'm vested. I'm literally his kin. It doesn't affect me either. Have fun, guys.
Like I said, the day that Mr. Gilligan betrays me is the day, or well, not really betray, or what's the correct word for this?
Lets you off the leash.
Declares me too much of a hassle to keep around, or is just plain dangerous. Is the day Bowden's just gonna turn around and with the most, like, betrayed looking face, be like, brother, and then die.
I'm sorry, brother. You felt
I can kind of see it like the Lenny kind of thing, where he won't realize. Just all of a sudden he'll get a gun to the back of the head.
It'll be of Mice and Men all over again. Man, what a good book, but also, goddamn, I was in fucking 8th grade.
Yeah,
I read.
Yeah.
I was in 9th grade when we read that book, and I just kept joking about doing a 360 no scope montage when he shoots Lenny.
I think I was in the 8th grade as well. And you want to know what really sucked?
What?
We went straight into Flowers for Algernon right after that book.
Bro! Your English teacher was sadistic. What the hell?
Never read that book. How much trauma?
Imagine being incapable of higher thought, or what's the best word for this? Mentally altered, being cured, and then realizing that you're about to go back into that state. And you
Yeah,
can do
that is
nothing
tough.
about it.
Well, sure you can. Kill yourself.
He chose not to. Instead, he decided to pour all his efforts into researching his state and then publishing a book about it. But
The Giver's pretty brutal too.
Oh yeah, that is brutal.
I think I got that one into 10th grade. Not
I want to say
because it
they
was
actually had us read The Giver in the 7th grade.
it wasn't
Yeah, I
one of
think
those books we were assigned. It just happened to be on the bookshelf, and I read it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you
Wouldn't she be
remember?
following his turlet?
He's probably just kind of half asleep, waiting for the caffeine to kick back in.
Why, he should just do drugs.
No, we need his address so we can DoorDash him some Diet Coke.
Just from multiple different restaurants, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Damn,
just
man,
said
do you even have DoorDash, or do you have some other
they'll
app?
it'd be a different kind of thing though. I
Yeah.
don't. There's going to be ones where you can kind of do it anonymously, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of it is going to. I don't know why. Yeah, you know them, but it'd be a case of Uber Eats or Just Eat kind of thing, which is pretty much the same thing as DoorDash.
Well, Uber Eats is ubiquitous.
It might just be a bit weird when they see an American ordering something on Uber Eats to get delivered to a British home.
Yeah.
Say anything, it will be funny. Will be the special instruction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the most amount of chicken tikka masala we can get delivered to him, the better.
Yeah, no, dude, seriously, if you know his address, DM me, and I will send him chicken tikka masala with Diet Coke. I'm serious.
I don't think Sheepy would be silly enough to give any of us his address, and if any of us had it, I don't think we would share it.
Damn you, damn man. You English are all together on this. You literally live within 2 steps of each other. I've seen the
See,
memes.
there's a solution to this that you're just not thinking about.
Oh,
DoorDash
yeah.
everyone in Britain.
Mm,
Just every house in Britain suddenly gets a DoorDash order of chicken tiki masala and Diet Coke.
yeah.
That is a lot of chicken at the same time.
Crash the market.
It's fine, we didn't want KFC anyway.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I want to go to the Vespin port so I can try to get an oracle or someone of religious importance to the Vespins.
I
And
think
then
now that
try to
I've
build a small little hut for it.
built 2 of my kitchen supplies and there's like 1 thing left, I'm gonna go to a tavern to find someone to sleep with.
All right.
That's an odd choice.
Okay. You should probably wait until we're in the Montanari.
He'll try his luck. What if I end
No.
up What if I end up sleeping with your cousin, Mr. Gilligan?
We're not going to that port, you son of a bitch.
I mean, there's a good reason why we're not going to the Vadachi port, right?
Yeah. The prostitutes stab you.
See,
Isn't that
I'm not
called
looking
begging?
See,
I'm
it's
not
weird. He
looking
didn't
for-
say he was looking for a prostitute. We're just assuming he was.
Yeah.
Yes. I just said I am going to attempt to sleep with someone. I didn't say I'm going to a whorehouse.
Yeah, you're just looking for Mr. Gilligan's mom. We know it.
Oh.
Or his
well.
cousin. Or a sister of his.
Oh. Good luck. You have to go back to the homeland for my mom.
Oh, your cousin's free game.
Hey, she's an adult.
I'm just picturing the awkward conversation of Gilligan comes to see his cousin and just sees a half-naked lockbox in her kitchen cooking her breakfast.
Mate, I'm gonna be honest, that's not gonna be awkward. She's an adult, dude. Like, she gets to do whatever she wants to do. The fact that you're making this weird is on you.
I just think it'd be amusing more than weird. Just, oh, can you add a ration of bacon for me to lockbox? Of course, Mr. Gilligan?
Yes.
I think it'd be more weird for Lockbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's like.
I just had a one night stand and suddenly one of the higher ups of my pirate company are here. What the fuck?
Taking sleeping with the captain's daughter to not quite it's sideways interpretation.
I mean, it's all very well and good, just so long as his cousin's not married.
You know, I
Hey,
haven't talked to Sheepy about that. I'm not sure if she is.
Oh.
That's on her at that point.
Yeah.
I mean-
Lockbox just went to a bar.
I mean, no one's asked Bowden about it, but it's canonical that he has children.
Oh,
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Lockbox has siblings in Innismore.
Mr.
That's what
Gilligan might have children.
If I recall correctly, I think his wife is a Highlander.
That's interesting.
I did not think Bowden had a wife.
At the lockbox. Wait, you're married. Huh?
Yeah, you never see my wedding ring? Shows
Strangely,
all
to
the-
be
no, I
honest-
assume you always have it off because you're always cooking.
I would expect Bowden to have a wedding axe instead of ring.
Yeah.
It's a hatchet. It's got in loving, in loving whatever.
I'm just
I don't-
picturing a hatchet with just on one side, to Bowden, on the other with love.
No, on one side, to Bowden with love. On the other side, if you ever cheat on me, this will be buried in your skull.
Now that sounds like a Verdachi axe.
Notice the inscriptions on your axe. What do they mean?
So long as no one tries to read the inscriptions on my dagger, we're fine.
Oh, you have inscriptions on your dagger?
Oh,
I
let's
mean,
just hope you don't see them.
I've got runes on my axe. It's mostly carved into the handle.
I mean, you're not going to have them carved into the metal part of the axe.
I mean, you might if I had something to etch it on.
I just figured
More
that after enough
interactive.
cleaning and the sharpening, eventually the inscriptions would kind of get messed up.
You would put it into the oh, what's that? The part that connects the haft and the axe head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I realised I hadn't eaten yet, so it took me a bit longer than I thought it would.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
that
fine.
makes sense.
But no, that song I just posted is one of the songs that I was listening to while I was thinking of Bowden.
Hmm.
Don't worry, we were discussing Lockbox sleeping with Gilligan's cousin and how Bowden actually has a wife and kids.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Shivi, is my cousin married? I haven't even thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I'd say you could make an argument either way, or just.
I would say if she sleeps with Lockbox, she's not.
So it all depends on if I can fuck his cousin.
But then,
Pretty
of course,
much.
you are married, so
No,
Lockbox isn't
Lockbox
married.
isn't married. It's Bowden who's married.
Ah,
I
okay.
understand how you confuse the two. They are both terrifying in melee.
They're both blonde, large people.
They both look in a direction and say, I don't like that direction. I'm gonna remove it.
I guess for now, your cousin is
Okay, we'll split the difference and say engaged.
it is Schrodinger's cousin.
Yeah, I prefer
Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's cousin.
marriage.
Yeah, I'd prefer Schrodinger's marriage than engaged.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. If Lockbox is successful in seducing my cousin, she is not engaged nor married.
And never was.
And never was. Granted, he has to go to that port his damn self, because I'm never bringing him.
That's fair.
This wasn't even a real conversation in game.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the conversation about mint. You know?
Yeah.
Just because it's not a game, don't think it doesn't have in-game consequences.
Fair enough. Though we all know that someone's gonna plant that mint in the actual ground at some point.
I will burn this island down to the fucking ground.
You remember that when we were planting the cucumbers, there are some unknown seeds.
Oh no! Don't put that in Sheepy's mind, dude. What is wrong with you?
It could be worse. It could be tumbleweed.
At least we can change the scenario to a cool western if we get tumbleweeds.
I find Western a lot less cool if you still have single-shot muzzle-loading pistols.
I'll work on it.
I will say one of the options in my head for what type of campaign we could have run. Western was up there with like sci-fi.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm now imagining Bowden in like a Western gambling suit and hat.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's like
okay.
it's like stretching the suit.
Oh yeah, you're right about to pop out of it.
Bowden's like, reach for the sky. And the guy puts his hands up and he's like, you're not touching the sky. Bang.
While in sci-fi, he would just be a space marine.
An orc, probably.
I honestly came in here being like, I'm gonna do the last time on, and I was gonna do right. Last time on, these gits don't even have choppers.
I got a chopper. What the fuck you talking about?
Oh, right.
Range.
Apologies. Most of these gits don't even have choppers, and their shooters is depressing with the level of docker they have.
Not enough, Docker.
Never enough docker, but really depressing levels of docker here.
They're not even fast. They don't even paint the things red.
What is up with them not painting their battle wagons red?
I want a big gun and I want it painted red.
Okay.
Now all I want is an orc cover of painted black.
Oh, dude, I will hit String Storm. How much is it to pay String Storm to do that?
You find out. I will help finance this. So, first we're heading to the port that houses Gilgan's cousin, right?
That was not the port I was planning on going to. You can take the sloop.
I have no reason to go there at this time. Unless you're like, hey, if you need to send mail, you should go here.
No, there are different areas where we can send mail from.
So I need to just quickly mute the audio because I need to check something. 1 second. Um. Okay. Uh. So the audio on the recording is going to be paused for a sec. I need to share something with you guys. So
Uh-oh.
Oh.
so they won't be able to hear you. No one will be able to hear you on the recording. Yeah. No, because they can still hear me. So it's gonna be very confusing on the recording. But so just join in that for a second. So what I will say is the voice does not fit, but I thought I'd play it quickly. Anyway, that's going to be very confusing for people watching because they can't hear any of that. All it was silence.
I want you to know, Sheepy, I forgot to mute my own music that was playing.
Oh, okay.
And suddenly, in the middle of listening to that, all I heard was the screams of the damned in the background.
But yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
so for the context for anyone watching, I went to an AI music place and put in cover of Paint It Black by Orcs from 40k. The voice was nowhere near an orc. But the music, the lyrics at least were. The music also was not. But
I can confirm we were not just converted to chaos by Eldritch chanting.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
I confirm nothing.
We're all getting tested for extra limbs.
I have looked and been tested. I have no extra limbs.
No one's taking my tail.
Well, you were born with that, so it's not an extra limb as far as we know.
Yes, there's definitely no reason it's on fire.
Well, now that's separate from the fact that you have a tail, Mr. Lockbox.
Yeah, don't be looking at his tail like that.
He should probably sit in the ocean because his tail's on fire.
GB, if you ever do another Only War campaign, it's just gonna be like, we're just gonna take this crew and transplant it.
Well,
this is how you cook an orc correctly.
Well, I mean, I feel like with the amount of solid Irish accents we have,
Oh,
you
Oh, no.
definitely all be part of the is it 12th? The Lightfoots?
I think so.
Yeah.
yeah,
God.
Bandy's regiment.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the Pegasus Guard.
Man, I wish I was part of the Pegasi Guard.
No one wishes they were part of the Pegasi Guard, dude.
I wish I wish I was another commissar part of the Pegasi Guard. Do you know how fast I die?
Mate, there's only one commissar in the Pegasi Guard.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they
the
killed
others
the
were
rest.
killed. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. I'm a
The-
new commissar sent to the Pegasi Guard. I get fucking shot. And Officer Friendly punches the one that shoots me.
Only Perto will probably only Perto or Mr. Matt would get this reference, but Commissar Friendly is just Luna's dad in like the maid outfit.
Oh, I hate you so much right now. I hate you so fucking much.
See, I've already had a thought of if I had joined the Only War campaign as Pegasi Guard, I would have named my guy Kami and his last name Sar. So everyone's like, he's a commissar. No, my name is Kami Sar. I'm not a commissar.
I think with a name like Commissar, you're going to become one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
that
bit
was
like
my
if your
thought.
name was Sergeant, you're becoming a sergeant.
That was exactly what I thought.
there's the Commissar Friendly reference. Like,
I don't want to see it.
Voice chat.
that's fair.
It's in Flotsam Jetsam.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Luna!
We should probably get back to the actual
I-
game now.
I was about to say, do we want?
You guys want to?
Do we want to do some broad strokes plans and set up for next session? And then we can kind of put a pin in it at the end of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
don't-
sorry.
Don't everyone enthusiastically weigh in.
Yeah, I can do some planning.
All right. So we have the next. We have the kind of like a week or so in terms of building and preps and training and etc. Bit of partying, you know, good times all round. I believe Don Fernando, you are planning to essentially go to a place for a doing of something. I'm unclear as to the exact plan you have.
One part of me wants to visit the Vatican Church, and the other wants to find some reliable and like a discreet courier.
Okay. Well, you could probably, with a mix of help from the Vestons, like, you know, if you do head to a Veston port, which I think is a vague plan so far.
Yeah.
You can probably get a pretty really reasonable, like, discreet courier to, you know, where you need to have it sent.
Oh, I guess we're going to the Veston port to see Gilligan's cousin.
Yeah, that would be
Man, that horse is gonna be beat to death.
So
I'm going to kill it.
you do have 2 ships. You do have enough crew to crew both ships. And currently speaking, you don't have solid enough leads for anything to have any of the other captains, council members, specifically be calling on anyone right now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably as things progress, you'll have captains heading out to like for their own endeavors and things like that. Generally speaking, currently not so much. So if any of you have specific ventures you'd like to embark upon or get done, feel free. Let me know what the plans are.
I mean, Brooks will be listening out for, if anyone is heading back to the, well, the Vespin port, where he can go and place that order for a plant. Besides that, he is just trying to build his smithy up a little bit.
Yeah.
Get everything into a nice state so he can start making more useful things like nails and rivets and bolts and stuff to kind of help out as we go on.
Voden just wants to try to get a Sirius Oracle, Greybeard, or someone of the Vespin paganism religion to bring back to the island. Mainly to fulfill his own religious and ceremonial needs, as well as any other Vespin that's on the island.
Yeah.
I have sent the lockbox's plans into the Roll20.
Okay, so for the benefit of everyone listening, Lockbox's plans are: 1, get laid; 2, send money to Ma and Da; 3, he has no idea yet; and then 4, he's somehow going to make profit. There we are. A solid plan there by Lockbox.
I think he forgot to mention underpants somewhere.
Yeah, he definitely forgot to mention underpants.
Maybe that was part 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid Japan has not been discovered yet, so you can't profit off underpants.
Damn. My plans are relatively simple. Go to a Festin port, find one of our national bank accounts, deposit my money, find a trade endeavor to go to preferably a Montaigne port, but I'm fine with S. Eisen or Castilian.
Okay.
After that, conduct the fulfill the contract and find more contacts in the other ports we don't have contacts in yet.
So you'll want to be taking the catch, the Lucy.
Yeah.
So
Think of. Sorry.
generally speaking, none of the council members are interested or disinterested in accompanying you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take just a regular crew if you want to engage in your own endeavor.
Yeah.
And obviously anyone else who needs to or wants to go along can either ask can ask Mr. Gilligan to do something on their behalf or to go along, to be part of the endeavor and also get their own, things done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's essentially Mr. Gilligan. Who would you like along with you, or who would you like to extend the invitation with, to come along with, if anyone, aside from just generic crew and etc. And is there anyone amongst yourselves who would like to be going on this trip? I'm assuming Don Jose and Lockbox at least.
Yes. Also, in context of my skill, would this count as a voyage?
Yes.
All right. Everyone can take a +1 to paunch next time we play for one roll.
Oh yeah.
I'd say Brooks would definitely be going along as well, just because of where they're going.
Right, yeah, for the
And Bowden already asked to be taken to a Vespin port, so now I know there's a Vespin port. Or we're going to one, so he's going.
Oh, also, just for the future, it's panache. Paunch is when you have a big belly.
I thought
GB, I'm
Paunch was
American. I can't
No,
speak
but
British.
No, buddy, it is panache in American too.
It's also actually, I believe, French originally, not British. So.
GB, I'm stupid.
I mean,
I thought
you could have just said I'm American, but sure, yeah,
Hey!
yeah.
I resemble that comment.
You right, you right.
You're right.
I thought Paunch is when you're playing Captain Falcon and you do his Falcon Pounce.
That's Falcon Punch. It's like a unch. It's more bunch than Yeah.
Maybe he's got a sudden draw.
Falcon Punch.
I do
Anyway.
find it funny that you actually typed it punch as well, rather than panache.
All right. Falcon Punch. Yeah.
Look, I'm not looking at my character sheet. I'm just saying saying and typing words that come into my mind.
But yeah, Bowden's going along with.
Okay.
If I may interrupt these plans,
Yeah.
I am pondering if it will not be better if we actually split and ask at 2 locations at the same time for potential traveling or other contracts.
As long as yeah, you can take the sloop out as well if you want to take the sloop somewhere. Exploration, pretty much anything really.
Like, I mean, one part of me wants to say, yeah, uh, Western is probably sufficient for me as long as they have Edison Church, which I assume is global enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably have both, but they're more likely to have
Yeah, it's not very popular religion for them, I assume.
yeah, they're more likely to have the objectionist reformers, an objectionist church, which is
Heretics.
Okay, yeah. So they probably have both just to keep the peace, but they're more likely to have an objectionist church.
Now,
I
so the question is if we want to spread out to like get more and better offers, or if it will not really make a difference for us. I would also just go to a port. It doesn't make anything.
yeah. In that case, oh, it sounds like we have the one outing currently.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just one.
With essentially all of you to some degree going through. I don't think anyone's staying behind. Oh,
I don't think so.
okay. All right. In that case, we are talking in terms of Endeavor. Uh, taking the Lucky Lucine
Mm-hmm.
to Keeler
Yep.
to get a some form of light transport job
Mm-hmm.
to either the Castilians, the Montaigne, or the Ison.
Yeah, preferably the Montaigne, but in ranked choice, it's Montaigne, Ison, and then Castilians.
Okay. Yeah, all right. And you're heading down to the southeasterly port for the
Yeah,
festivals. All right.
that's where most of the trade is.
Okay. So trying to see if there's an appropriate thing here that will. Yeah, sure, that will work. We will next session. We will dig into some of this a bit deeper. For now, what I will say is, seeing as this is being obviously you can help out if needed slash if wanted. Could we begin with a? I'm gonna throw out a option of wits or panache, along with convince, and obviously bonus for you, Mr. Gilligan, because of your connections.
Okay.
Say bonus dice.
I zoned
So
out. Do we all have to roll this?
No.
So convince panache, 1 bonus dice. Any bonus dice for my Lyceum or Silver Tongue?
Lyceum, does that apply to your um
You also have my +1 if you want to use it now or save it.
I want to use it for something that I don't get bonuses for.
yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there because
Yeah.
I'd say Lyceum doesn't really count. I don't think a family member really fits into that into that. But yeah,
Oh,
Silver Tongue, yeah.
wait, has she gotten transferred?
No?
Then we're going down here. She's up here.
Oh, apologies. In that case, I would say it depends. I'm going to say no,
Okay.
because it's a fairly you've been down here before and you've made contacts here before. Unless you're going somewhere like properly official and trying to set.
Actually, this is the first time I've been to this port. I've only been to the northern port. Farland went on this expedition. I stayed at the island.
Well, I meant you guys as a collective.
Oh, okay.
So you couldn't like, unless you want to. I'd say the only time Lyceum in this instance would play into it would be dealing with officials. Generally speaking, you're going to be talking to front people for light work. If you were looking to have a proper meeting and organize a proper form of relationship, then you know that's when Lyceum would start to come into it.
Well, that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like something that will legitimize this. So
Well, yeah, but
we have
you're looking for a basic contract. You're not looking to establish uh relations between your organization and another one, right?
sure, but the more powerful, the more connected the name on that contract is for me, the better.
Well, so you're going to be forming a contract. Apologies, one sec. You're going to be forming a contract with the company.
Yeah.
But my point is you're not going into the company demanding an audience with the owner or uh, owner, the manager of the area, some noble or whatever, to sit down with tea and crackers and cakes and stuff to figure out a deeper deal. Like like what you're doing is you're going in and being like, hey, do you have any jobs in? And they're like, oh yeah, we have a few jobs to here or to here. Right?
I'm not looking for just a job. I'm looking for a job that's profitable and that's high value. Something that will make me less likely to be hassled by port authorities. A contract who has a name attached to it that means something in every port in that BNC. Somebody that will make
us capable of appearing connected, if not actually connected.
Right. So you're not looking to meet with the leaders or movers and shakers of the company. You're looking for a decent contract to transport basic stuff from one place to another.
Yeah, but a company that isn't your basic company.
Yeah, that's fine, but
Okay.
we're talking about the Lyceum. And I'm explaining the reason why the Lyceum isn't used or doesn't come into play.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure we both understand the type of company Mr. Gilligan's looking for.
Yeah, it's not about the type of company, it's about the nature of the meeting. The nature of the meeting is a walk in and pick
Mhm.
up contract. It's not a a larger
Okay.
meeting or yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Um
Uh, did you want me to get rid of that one?
uh rid of the one?
You gave me you gave me one because of my connections, but then I realized they're not going to my cousin. We're going down here.
You get one for the silver tongue regardless, so
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that one because I have a 3 in convince.
okay. Woo! 34, not
34!
31.
There we go!
Okay, 33. Let's have a look here. You know what? It's nothing fancy, but it is official enough that it will do for your purposes. There is a contract which is fairly time sensitive.
Okay.
To take some essentially like bumper supplies. So we're talking like longer lasting foods and and so on and so forth, up to the Montaigne port.
Okay.
As long as it is not the building supplies to the Castilians.
Just thinking
No.
that.
I was tempted to be like, well, but no. There are slightly more profitable ones to Eisen and to Castile, and to some of the other ones, but the one that stands out to you as the pardon me, initial objective. Yeah, you have one that will at the very least get you a small modest profit, and will
Yeah.
take you up to the Montaigne port.
As long as it will satisfy the crew, I'm not really looking for a profit for myself at this point.
Okay.
I have my bumper profit from the treasure ship,
Yeah.
and I haven't spent that, nor do I plan on spending a lot of that.
Okay.
So, me personally, I can take a hit as long as the crew gets paid well.
I mean, it was a reasonably tidy profit. So if you're foregoing your share, that will buffer everyone else enough that, yeah, I'd say just general crew demeanor will be happy, satisfied,
Sure.
a bit enthusiastic.
Yeah. Will we have enough time between loading of the ship and when we have to go out for everybody else to do their thing? Because I assume they told me what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, you've got it takes probably a day to get to the point of like a agreement, a contract,
So I
and
can place
then
the order, but I can't collect it yet. Good.
and then another day until another day until things are loaded. So you got a couple of days.
Yeah.
For for you, Brooks, I do believe that you expressed interest in the plant last time you were here,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
means that it is in stock now.
Ooh, an actual plant version.
Yeah.
That's handy. In that case, I would very much like to procure said plant.
I would say, given its specialist and rarity for the area, it's going to cut into your and also because it is a plant as opposed to just like some ingredients that you can or
I'm
even
not
just
expecting it to be cheap.
yeah, or even just the finished product. I'd say let's run about 60% of your earnings. Obviously we won't
Cool.
keep an exact tally of these things, but going forward, just know that you are currently the poorest in the.
That's fine. I'm going to become a lot richer.
Yeah.
Now I have, plants that I can grow, so I'm not constantly having to buy them.
Yes, that will definitely help.
Sheepy, I'm gonna roll for my step 1 to my plan for world domination.
Okay.
You know, it ain't that bad.
I'm gonna re-roll that one.
All right.
1 second.
Okay, so where exactly
It's a
is
40.
he leaking up?
It's above 40 now.
Okay. So
Flex has a nice night somewhere.
yeah. Are we just kind of generally having a night out at an establishment?
Yep, just trying to find something to sleep with.
Okay, you find someone. Sleep is had.
None of that sinful before marriage hand holding, though.
No. Just excessive drinking and quaffing. All right. Don Jose.
See.
What were you wanting to do? It was send a message.
So yeah, I need to send like let's call it like half my earnings back to Castile to
Okay.
my relatives. Again, it's not impossible that the royal post will try to confiscate it, as they may are in bad standing with the king. So that's why I kind of need a courier that is not Castilian.
Right.
BP.
Yeah.
I have connections to certain trade guilds. Could I send him to a specific one that I know could more covertly, not smuggle, that's a dirty word, but more covertly get to his family what he's sending them?
Yes, I think. I think it's possible to set up a. Honestly, I think for now the way it would probably work best would be if you organize a would be if you organize like a clandestine delivery essentially. Although later on when you're a bit more established and you have better relations, you could probably organize some kind of like front or cover agreement, trade agreement, etc., that would allow a more easy delivery of future, monies and goods and etc. back to
Just
the
start Western Union.
yeah. But no, ultimately, it is very doable to set up a one-time delivery of your pay which, for the purposes of Don Fernando, will help to ease the debt and the current.
Yeah, I mean, like my own headcanon is that last time I had messages, they are kind of running their own investigations as to who betrayed our dad, but
Yes.
they kind of need a lot of money for bribes.
Well, and also they're out of favor.
Yeah, they are out of favor. So yeah, also
Um,
the like economy of the manor is not going well.
Yeah. So it's not at the point where they are, it's not at the point where they're like, about to lose their stuff. There, but there's enough pressure on there that there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
apparently
outsourcing.
my older brother actually had to like work physically like a peasant in a
Mhm.
field.
Yeah. So this will go a decent ways to easing off for a little while.
That's fucking rough, buddy.
Yeah, and I want to send like the rest of some, not the rest, but also some into like Vetisid Church for orphans and widows of deceased
Mhm.
sailors, which we
Okay.
may contribute to.
Gotcha. Well, in that case.
Although one thing, this
Okay.
is just that recently come to my mind. Have I seen anything like engineering workshop around?
In this port, I would say yes. It's not the most impressive one, but yes, there's
I want to ask if they are capable of making grenades.
ooh, I would say
Grenade
they're capable of ordering grenades. I'm going off my own headcanon here, but I feel like black powder specialization would be more the Vadachi, or the
So they can
probably.
kind of
For
make
me, it's
cases,
perfectly
just not the
plausible
powder.
that they have to import it from the old world.
Yeah, imports would be the best option, really. Um, yeah, but you could.
Now, for now, I don't think I can afford anything, so I'll just want to ask around if they know anything about it and if we can procure some. But otherwise, I'll just thank them for information and leave.
Okay. In that case, the suggestion would be, probably the Vadachi would be your safest bet. Although the Vadachi, like they're not specialists at black powder, they're more specialists at like tinkering and engineering and stuff. If you're talking in terms of pure black powder weapons and things like that, Castile or Avalon are the best places to go because they've been the most conflictiory, as it were, with each other and with everyone else.
Yeah, but that's probably what I want to achieve, and I'm kind of getting out of money, so yeah,
Okay.
that's me.
In that case, let us finish off with you leaving the Western Port and swinging up towards the Montaigne, in the direction of the Montaigne Port. What I will say is, if anyone would like to get dropped off at the island, considering the direction you're taking, it'd be very, very simple matter to get dropped off at the island. So feel free to make a note to note that down if you would like to get off at this point. And yeah, I think we will.
Already got off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Boo.
Boo. In that case, we will tie things off here for today.
I guess that means I wasn't able to find any holy people.
Yeah, we
was
did
there?
Bowden find a seer
I mean, in a Western port, I'd say yes.
to come to our island is what he was looking to recruit a
To
seer.
come to the island.
We
So
would
did
be
he
building.
Shanghai one?
Yep. I would be using some of my supplies to also purchase building materials for basically a seer's hut
Okay. You
to
prob-
fulfill Bowden's own religious needs as well as any Vespin that follows.
I would say you probably have the raw resources and supplies to do that without, unless you want something a bit more specific. Have a look. I will say, resolve convince.
All right.
Right.
Any bonuses?
Can I help him?
In this instance, I'm gonna say no, just purely because it seems to be a personal kind of like thing, and going off the idea that you are essentially organizing the contract and getting everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just
So would he ask for anyone's help? That's the real question.
I mean, I would maybe ask if Gilligan knows a seer, but I wouldn't expect anyone else to really know
So,
a seer.
here's your options. Resolve convince, or brawn intimidate.
we
And
are not kidnapping a seer.
I'm not going to attempt to intimidate
mean,
a seer.
yes, that's so. Whatever. So I'm giving you the option because you could
Just in case.
100% try and intimidate a seer, a religious person, or whatever. But the nature of their inhabitation of the island would be entirely different than if you convince them.
27.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have 3 in
You do.
convince, so I can't re-roll that one.
Okay, so I'm going to say that we'll figure out the details next time. I'm going to say that they say yes. However, they need to finish. You know what? It is a yes, but it is a transitory yes, in the sense of they are interested of the idea you present to them, but they can't promise that they'll stay forever, or stay for a long period of time. So it's going to depend on how things play out for them as to whether they commit or they decide to move on.
I have an idea, and I'm going to just run it by you real quick.
Okay.
I could, since they're going off, I can ask Gilligan to, after he's finished with his expedition, to swing back here to come pick me back up. I could stay behind at the port and continue convincing them to stay long term, as well as, I guess, make some connections at the Vespin port. Or if it's purely based on their experience at the island, when they drop me off, I'll spend extra time on that.
Stay at the island. Okay. I would say it's more dependent on their time on the island than.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll probably be dropped off at the island when they swing by, so that I can start building their hut, basically.
Okay. So the last thing we need to do. Oh, okay.
Leveling up.
Hror. I will put it in the chat for you.
Oh, he's naming them.
So the name of the seer is Hror.
And What distinguishing features does Shore have?
It's crazy enough to go to a pirate island.
Distinguishing features.
Carries around a headless chicken.
Black robe. May have their eyes covered in wax. Black lips, because the herbs they eat for rituals dye their lips black. I'm literally reading off of what a Norse seer looked like.
I'm going to hide my herbs. I don't want him eating the wrong ones by mistake.
Honestly, nothing overtly out of the ordinary that would be like, aha, you have one leg and a horn, or like you have a tree growing out of your beard. No, nothing.
They probably have face paint and stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
I say he's not
Um,
missing an
I
eye.
was-
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like not quite voodoo looking, but something of that vein when it comes to
Nope.
a seer.
No, damned man. Our seer is not secretly Odin.
Says you.
So you believe you can actually see a god if trying to trick you? Wouldn't God be far better at tricking than you at discovering it?
True.
Not if I'm on enough drugs.
Well,
I,
I've
the
That's
reason
got
I
this
just-
new one that you could definitely try, which could actually be used as a painkiller.
yeah, the secondary reason I didn't want to intimidate the seer, they could possibly be handling my berserker potion, and I don't want to be berserker poisoned.
They could also possibly be, by our pagan religion, a god,
That too.
especially if they're transient.
Here you go. Here's a vague look for you. Basic.
Huh.
That man's a wizard.
Yeah. Close.
That's fine.
Okay. So, as I said, we close off with you
Sorry.
dropping off a couple of people at the island and heading off to the Montaigne port to deliver your contracts into goods and to investigate next time.
Man, we have to deal with the French. I know I'm the one who did this endeavor, but
Well,
Next time on Flotsam and Jetsam, Will
it's-
Brooks stab someone because they're French.
My guess is yes. It's funny because while I was doing the vaguely, slightly, I guess, Italian accent,
yeah.
it kept almost, or maybe I'm not 100% sure, possibly completely slipping into French, and I was like, oh, please stop, you got to be the Italian, you can't slip into the French.
Pizza pasta.
When you are talking the Italian, it's so easy to slip into the French, you know. It's yeah, so yeah.
To the pasta.
Baguette.
Ferrari.
Linguini, gotta be goody. Apologies to anyone who is actually Italian. Although I don't need to apologize that much, aside from the fact that you're Italian.
Haha.
Anyway, there we go. Very well done, everyone.
Thank you.
I think an hour of that video is going to be us off topic.
Oh, at least an
No,
hour of that
it's
video.
it's like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, 20-30 minutes of us actually playing the game. The rest is off topic.
No, it's 20-30 minutes of off topic when that's when we decided to take the break because I was like, we're already off topic and we're talking about random shit. And we almost dropped into fucking
be
real
fair.
world politics nonsense.
This felt less like a session and more like a, hey, we all just kind of got together. We're hanging out now.
Yeah.
Well, that is what a normal session that isn't a show is. It's literally friends getting together and
Yeah, I know.
hanging out playing a game.
That's true. That's true.
It was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have a seer. Now I got to convince him to stay.
I will say that that seer got to stay in the captain's cabin.
Okay.
Too many. There's a. I don't know how religious Mr. Gilligan is, but Bowden is pretty far into his religion.
I'm probably not as religious as you are, but I am religious.
Okay.
Oh, a little bit of additional info. I am putting the refining touches on my system, which I can then convert into a basic system. It's a very quick convert for the campaign. So it's very possible next time we can do a quick character rejigger for my like narrative system. It will ease off a little bit of the confusions, I guess, of using a system that we're not using much. So
Well, I have an actual skill called cooking then.
yeah, no, that type of thing will be very doable.
Thank God.
Do you
Backstabbing
have
will become a
a
skill. Good to know.
have you made a actual character sheet for the Roll20, or would we be making our own?
We'd probably just make it's very it's pretty simplistic. So
Yeah.
there's no need, there's no need for a giant character sheet like this where it's like, oh, traits, advantages, skills, details, story, ship, everything, all of the everything. So yeah,
All right.
should be good.
In that case, it probably doesn't make sense to try to level up after this session.
I'd say not really. Although we can kind of like lean into that with the new system. So you can kind of like, we'll do a character creation and then we'll do a little bit of advancement as well to
I
represent.
mean, now that I've played Bowden for a little bit, there might be a couple tweaks here and there that I want to make.
Yeah, and with my system as well, you don't have to lock into everything. You have essentially a few things that you can kind of hold until you understand your character a bit better, and then get a bit more specific as and when needed.
So are you gonna like post a PDF, or is it gonna be a downtime session? How's it gonna work?
I'll post
Next week.
I'll post up a PDF. Yeah.
Next week we're gonna show back up and do another session, figuring this out.
We'll turn it into a weekly thing. Just really, really grind Sheepy's patience.
Hey, like.
He shuddered.
Yeah.
You broke him. Well done.
Yes. Victory.
Well,
it wouldn't be too bad if my sleeping was always normal, but it's just rough when my sleeping is
Yeah.
off, and I have to, But it's the same with shows as well. Having to fucking firm it and wake up and be like, all right.
What you need is nanomachines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's been fun, but I gotta go off.
Oh yeah.
I have things to do.
We'll end the recording here as well. So let's see.
Y'all
if
have a good night.
All right, mate. See you later.
Bye.
Let's see if this session gets up to the patron in a couple of days, as opposed to,
A week later?
almost just before the next session starts.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be there at some point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I should be better at it now. Hopefully.